Just buy some music playing. Just buy some music playing. Just buy some music playing. Yo. Yeah, I hear you. You sound fine to me. Okay, yeah. I'm trying to get everybody's audio set up.
What's good, Shaq? You alright?
Yo. Yeah, I'm cool. I'm cool. Yeah, I hear you.
Alright.
Okay. Sound fine to me. All right. Let me see. I think I got your audio running through the Discord. Everybody's audio set up.
Who was just
What's good, Shaq? You alright? God damn. Shit. No, that was one of my homeboys. He was just coming through just to say hey. That's all.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And don't worry, I got the game running or whatever. So as soon as 9:30 start, we'll start setting up. I mean,
Okay.
we'll start
What you
having things
playing?
going.
What you
Uh,
playing?
you remember Sonic Unleashed? It was the one when like he turned to like a werehog or something.
Oh, okay. Is that the PS2 one or something?
Well, it had a PS2 version and a PS3, but yeah, pretty much.
Oh, I didn't know it had a PS3 version. I knew the PS2 version for sure.
Hmm. Yeah, and it's definitely modded, so you're gonna see some things that's look kind of different.
Like a dude with glasses.
Yeah, it's funny because that's actually a girl, and she that was just her eyelashes or something. It's funny.
For real?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Okay. Yeah.
Hey man, hey, I know you I appreciate you still, you know, pressing through. I know you with all the stuff you got going on. I appreciate you, bro.
No, no, it's all good. By the way, we are streaming now, so
Oh, okay, okay, okay.
yeah. Remember we was talking about like I'm gonna just have everything running through. Yeah. So
Yeah. So Trevor not coming on?
nah, he is. It's gonna be a minute. Like I said, by the time we start, we could
Hmm.
do like as soon as 9:30 hit, like we could just start talking about the shit, and whenever he come through, you know, we just keep things rolling.
All right.
And I think Tyreek's
That's a
supposed to
bit.
come through later.
Okay.
I was gonna play some music background, but I was like, nah, let me just leave it alone.
Well, you gonna play some of your music?
Yeah, I was just because it's like copyrighted free, or at least on my part.
Yeah, you know what I researched? They said like even if you go on YouTube and use copyright free music, it's still like some it's still like gray areas with that.
Mm-hmm.
Like
Because
like if you
oh, go ahead, go ahead.
yeah, go ahead.
No, no,
So
no,
I
go
was
go
just saying
ahead.
like based on like my research whatever. And it's the same thing like with gameplay. Like you try to use somebody else's gameplay, you know, even if it says copyright free, that person could still change their mind or something.
Yeah,
So yeah.
yeah. Because I
I
remember
don't know
I
if you ever
was
heard of that.
yeah. 'Cause I remember I was doing a stream for Smash, and I I didn't use nobody's gameplay. I was trying to use copyright free music or whatever, but I still got hit with the copyright strikes. I was just like, okay, let me go ahead and just take it down and get out the way.
Okay, so you don't. I'm looking at it now. So you just got like the cover art on there. You ain't got the gameplay on there yet.
No, as soon as 9:30 starts, that's when I'll switch to the game.
Hmm. How did you find this art?
I made it.
For real?
Mm,
That's crazy. So it. Yeah.
just a little bit, some Photoshop, some. I did use some AI for like those guys or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Just to kind of make things
Right.
quick, and then after that, it wasn't no problem.
Hmm.
Okay. All right. There we go. All right. Trevor about to come through.
All right, bet.
All right then. So yeah.
Now when you.
Oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
Uh, go ahead. No, go ahead.
No. Before we even go in, because I don't know if like it sounded like if you was like lagging a little bit, because like are you hearing me like well, like like everything's going through well on your
Uh,
part?
no, no, I don't think it's. I don't think it's a delay. I just think that we both try to like talk at the same time.
Oh,
So
okay, okay,
it's like
okay,
when you say, yeah, yeah, it's not a delay.
okay, okay. I was just making sure. Yeah.
Nah.
No. Before we start, like, yeah, like when we was talking about in the chat, like the only reason why I didn't like I wouldn't mind talking about Kanye. You know, it's just that right now it's like a very gray area, especially like I ain't gonna say it's a gray area. It's just that like right now nobody's like really trying to hear about his music because like it's just all the antics that's going on. You know what I'm saying? We could bring him up in the topic. You know what I'm saying? We could bring him up for like references and shit like that. But I think any praise at the moment, like we all know he's a legend. Like that should stamp. You know what I'm saying? But we can't just like just sit here and act like okay, bro. Like we're gonna talk good about you, but you still you know, doing a whole bunch of other madness going on. You know, you gotta take some accountability for that. That's what I was just trying to say.
Yeah,
You
I
know,
respect that. That makes sense.
and I'm saying this as a Kanye fan, bro. Like a long time Kanye fan. It's just there's this like if Kendrick was to slip up, if Cole was to slip up, like trust and believe, like I'll be on their ass too. But and you know, and
Hey, bro.
I'll expect the same thing. You know.
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie. I kind of feel the same way about the Kendrick and Drake stuff. I feel like an alien because I'm like the only one that's kind of like not saying I don't mind talking about it, but I'm kind of like you know already happened in a sense. Like not saying that like using it for reference, but like spending mm, all day talking about it. You know,
Nah,
like that's something that I'll let you and Trevin expand on because I don't have no more thoughts and opinions on that because it already happened in my mind. You know.
yeah, I already could tell because when we was talking to D Man, like and like we like kind of brought up a little bit of the Kendrick and Drake stuff. Is just I saw your facial expression. You just like, bro, like, come on, bro, like this shit is done and over with. And that's why I was telling you, I'm like with Kendrick and Drake, it's like only the fans are keeping this shit up. You know what I'm saying? I can care less because like look, I'm not about to sit here and act like I still listen to fucking Not Like Us. Like I every now and then, like if the songs pop on or whatever, I'll give it a listen. You know what I'm saying? But I don't go out my way to really go and just fucking listen to the song like that because like you damn near hear it everywhere. You know what I'm saying? Even after like maybe like the third week, that's when I started to slow down. You know what I'm saying? Not like Not Like Us is cool, but it ain't like it ain't one of my favorite Kendrick songs. You know what I'm saying? I listen to Euphoria more than I do Not Like Us. You know, And even with the whole Drake thing, it's just like okay, like Drake lost whatever. I'll let that man play. I'll play his music in my car now. You know, it's over. It's over. And it's the same. I'm pretty sure it's the same feeling how people felt when Pac and Big was going on. People was rooting for Pick. I mean, I'm tripping. People was rooting for Pac, so they was only listening to Pac, and then there's people who listen to Biggie, so people was only listening to Biggie. But after when everything kind of settled down and shit, I'm pretty sure that's when everybody just started to listen to both. Or even when the beef was going on, people would still listen to both. It's just
It's it's a lot of like trolls, and then you got to think about this. It's a lot of these kids too.
mm-hmm.
It's adults too, but it's just a lot of people trolling. But and then of course Drake kind of like does something every now and then just to kind of keep the conversation going. But
Yeah.
you know, I don't think, yeah, it's like not like us. Okay, I don't know. It's bigger than what Back to Back was, but
Oh
after
yeah.
Back to Back came out that first month, I was kind of like already past it. What you
Yeah.
say?
No, 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 no. I
Yeah.
agree. It's
Yeah.
like, cause yeah, even looking back, like listen to back, like the song was cool. It was funny. Everybody was like overplaying the fuck out of it, and after a while, it just kind of just played out. But you do have to like kind of also understand a lot of people wasn't really tapped in with the beef when everything was going on, like crazy or not. So like we're always getting like new fans every single day, trying to like learn about what happened between those two. And that's, unfortunately that kind of what keeps the beef alive because even during the Super Bowl thing, a lot of people didn't know that Kendrick and Drake was beefing. A lot of people didn't even know who Kendrick was, you know what I'm saying? A lot of people, I mean, I'm pretty sure a lot of people know who Drake was, but they wasn't aware of like all the stuff that was going on. So because of that, like you got all these new fans, you got all these kids, not like us is playing around, they're playing on Fortnite and whatever the case is, these streamers keep talking about it. Unfortunately, it's just gonna be one of them things where it's just like people are still gonna be talking about it for like the next couple of months, you know what I'm saying? At most. And, you know, like with me and you, we know we're already getting tired of it. Like we already know we still gonna listen to Drake. We still gonna listen to Kendrick. So it's whatever. Like we made our peace with that. But we're always gonna either have like friends or like a younger generation that's always gonna like keep bringing it up because you got to look at it like this. This is probably like the first time beef really like anybody like really pay attention to like rap beef, especially for like newer fans. But
Yeah.
but
Hmm.
and like and it's the same thing with just like when Drake was going against Meek Mill, like nobody really experienced like a rap beef that it wasn't really big in terms of like lyrics or whatever, but it was just big because social media became like a major thing during that time. So it's like that's people are gonna keep talking about, especially in the meme culture. Like, bro, I even on my YouTube, my YouTube recommendations or like subscriptions, like I got something from PlayStation, right? And apparently it was like a rhythm game or some music game, and they were advertising Not Like Us. I'm like, bro, what? like, like what is going on over here? And just even like when TV off was like got announced and whatever, Crunchyroll, PlayStation, Xbox, Sega, everybody was making so many memes off that one song. And it's up to you. Some people want to say that TV off was about Drake. I mean, if it is, it is. If it's not, it's whatever. But but that's what keeps the beef alive. And you know, we can always say that like we're going to get tired of it, and a lot of people are going to say they're going to get tired of it too. But until when shit's like finally done and over with, it's still going to get kept talking about, and there's nothing we can really do. You know what I'm saying? All the only thing we can do at this point is just talk about other topics, or like just wait until like the next biggest thing in rap just comes along and do its thing.
I mean,
Yeah,
son.
and also like with this Drake and Kendrick stuff, it's also because of like where he's at in music now. It's easy for people to joke about him because
Mm-hmm.
right now, musically, a lot of the fans are not happy.
Yeah.
With a lot of his music. So at the same time, he's kind of like the butt of the joke right now. But I don't personally think Drake is gonna fall off or anything. I just think that once this get passed, and once he drop another good album, I feel like this gonna be water under the bridge. Like once he drop another good project, I feel like people will they'll go back to calling him that guy again. So
Yeah.
my personal
He,
opinion.
he needs to put more Black Hippie
Yep.
members on this shit,
So
man.
and then Kendrick, knowing him, he might even take a break. Like okay, he dropped the album. Uh, I even noticed that he didn't even put not like us on Jinx. That's something that a lot of rappers would have did. But
He did it for
even by him not doing,
he did it for integrity, supposedly.
yeah, yeah, he did. But if it was Travis Scott probably would have did some opposite. Like, look at what Travis Scott did with Astroworld. He put Goosebumps. Goosebumps was out for what 2 or 3 years, right?
Yeah.
Before Astroworld, and he put it on the album. But at the same time, yeah, I respect that. That's something I just noticed. Like I was like, not like us, not on the album.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Hold on. Trevor, what
So
you about to say?
I was just saying that whatever he does on his next project, he need to put more Black Hippie members on there, dog.
I mean, Trevor on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. You don't hear him?
Oh, okay, I can hear him now.
Okay. Okay.
Hey.
Yeah.
What's good, Trevor?
Not much. My bad. I got on late in the motherfucker. I should not be doing that.
No.
What's good, Tariq? Tariq in here too.
Oh, he is.
Yeah, what's my connection might be a little bad. Y'all can still hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you perfect.
Mm-hmm.
We can hear you.
Okay, perfect.
Nah. I
Shaq,
mean,
I'm watching your gameplay.
yeah. Don't worry. I got that shit on lock. But
Okay.
nah, Trevor, no, don't feel bad because like even Dewan, he had to give me a talk. He was like, bro, you gotta do better with like. He didn't say it like in this way, but he's like, you gotta do better with like starting your streams on time and shit. I'm like, you're right. You fucking right.
Bro, my computer was holding me, dog. It was taking too long to get up. I'm like, oh, bro. And I'm the last one coming in. Oh, Lord, looks bad.
Nah. Like,
Wait,
oh, go ahead.
Trevor. Hold on. Wait, Shaq, make that point, and then I got a question to ask Trevor.
Okay.
Okie doke.
Yeah. Nah. So I was just like letting him know it's just like, yeah, you're right because even when I be streaming like games and shit on my other channel, Chaos Karma and stuff like I do struggle like with trying to like do everything on time. That's why I was like, you know what, let me get everything situated out the way. I'm still kind of going through like a little car issue with my personal life at the moment. So it's like once I get like all that situated, I could do better with starting things up. And I did well. You know what I'm saying? We got well for me. Like I got up ready in time. Stream was ready to go. We got the gameplay. No black no black screens. You know what I'm saying? Audio working perfectly. Everything was straight. So I needed that push. So appreciate you, Dewan, for that shit. You know what I'm saying? We
Oh, no
gotta
problem, no problem.
we gotta keep that shit going. Like, oh, okay,
Yeah, I got a question to ask Trevor. Shaq, this for you too.
okay,
I wanted like before we start the stream, like officially, I wanted to ask y'all because this been in my mind. Like, the show Everyday Struggle, right?
right.
Mm-hmm.
Are you familiar with that, Trevor?
Yeah.
Okay, I wanted to know before we start the show officially, what do y'all think about that show? Like, you feel like it can come back now? Cause I kind of missed the show.
It depends on who's involved. Because, like, Joe Budden, I ain't gonna lie, he too big to go back to it. But, like, I like when Wayno was there. And, but I think, like, academics, he was kind of, like, not helpful. Like, whenever they had, like, guests or some shit, he was either, like, saying things that was not saying nothing bad, but it was like he didn't really have that much knowledge of whoever the fuck the guest was. That was mainly like a Joe Budden thing, and then Joe was like the that grumpy one. You know what I'm saying? But when Wayno came on, he knew his shit. So it's like if Wayno's still on there or someone that's like him, then yeah, sure.
Yeah,
Complex needs something
Wayno
like
had his
that.
biased moments though.
He
He
did.
had his biased
Yeah,
moments
he definitely did.
when it came to Jay Z, when it came to like Jay Z or certain. I think him and Dave East. I don't know if he used to work with him or something like that, but
Yeah.
but nah, he had his moments though. But I was thinking if the show came back with the same cast, if it was academics, Nadeska, and Wayno, would the show pop off again? That's what I was asking.
it,
Like,
it it could for nostalgic reasons, but at the same time, like with Joe, like what Trevor said with Joe, Joe's too big, and no, there's no
Nadeska's
dis.
too big too.
Yeah, I mean,
But
to be honest, all of them are in a good spot. You know what I'm saying? It's just that
yeah.
I'm looking at it.
that's good.
I'm gonna
Yeah.
pause it for a second. Like I'm looking at it like this, right? Like with Joe, he wants to be the star of the show. You know what I'm saying? And that's no disrespect. I just see that Joe wants to be the head of. He wants to be the head. Like he wants to be the captain of his ship, which is nothing wrong with that. You know what I'm saying? Nadeska, I forgot what was the reasons why she left, but I'm just gonna just assume that like she she's fine with her role and she probably just wants more respect on her part, which I understand that as well. Academics, if this was maybe like a couple years ago before all these weird allegations whatever, I'll say yeah, because he is tapped in with rap culture and shit like that, regardless if you like him or not. But at the same time, you have many issues, bro. Like you got a lot of fucking issues, and I still follow this dude. You know what I'm saying? I still find his stuff somewhat entertaining to a degree, but like until he can kind of like get that shit situated and figure out like what's he trying to fucking do with his life, I wouldn't want him on the show personally.
Yeah.
And
What about Wayno?
Wayno's fine. I do have an issue with people who are biased because like Rory and Mal, like they're cool, but Mal, like
Nah.
nigga, you
Mal
handled
got that shit way worse.
he handled that Drake shit so fucking bad. You would have thought that like Kendrick like fucked his bitch or something like that or some shit. Like bro, like nigga, relax. Like you have every right to have an opinion. If you don't like Kendrick's songs, that's cool. You know what I'm saying? We're not gonna ask you why you don't like it. Like it is what it is. But like nigga, you taking certain shit to the heart and then you end up screaming and shit. Like nigga, 30-year-old something man and you tweaking out like this, bro. Like chill out, bro.
Like yeah, like he's like doing his best to discredit Kendrick, even though Kendrick don't even know this nigga.
That's what I'm saying. Like, were you feeling like this when Damn came out? Were you feeling like this when Good Kid came out? Like it sounds like a personal issue at that point, And like Rory, like I know he has his own takes and certain shit, but like he's fine to me. You know what I'm saying? Pause. But like
Pause.
he's straight. He's straight. But yeah, that's how I
Yeah.
feel about it.
I tried to kind of like watch the Joe Budden podcast. I like now.
Mm-hmm.
I just feel like the dynamic is so different because I think kind of like Joe kind of put himself on the pedestal, kind
What's up?
and it can kind of it can kind of like it can kind of just be like annoying to a certain extent
Yeah.
because it's like it's that he'll make a point and then when somebody disagree with him, he'll try to like discredit them and make them feel like they're stupid or something. And so it's like I can't really get into the new. I feel like the old Joe Budden podcast. I think it was more like the bros talking, like how we doing now. But he don't kind of have. I don't think he respect his co-host now. So I just think it's like my personal opinion. I can't get into the new show.
It's I kind of agree to an extent. Because Joe he can be a little disrespectful sometimes. I mean he's from New York, right? He's a New York nigga.
Mm-hmm.
Jersey.
Oh, Jersey.
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
okay.
yeah, like I can get like the tension with dudes like that. You know what I'm saying? But like Joe, he has. I ain't gonna say he has every right, but I can understand why he will feel that way. But at the same time, bro, it's just like you ask these people to work with you, as far as I know. You know what I'm saying? You putting these people on. They didn't actually fucking clown or get disrespected in any single way because like if that was the case, they would just they would just done their own shit. But that's neither here or there. If they're okay with that, then then there's nothing more to say to it. But yeah, Joe,
Could you be on his show?
you said what?
Could you be on? Could you be on the Joe Budden podcast?
Could I?
Yeah.
Yeah, but I if he gets mad if I'm trying to defend myself, then I'm like, bro. I mean, I'm not gonna battle with you because at the end of the day, I guess like you're my boss, so like I ain't gonna like battle with you, but I'm not gonna let you just keep talking shit either. You know what I'm saying? Because if that's the case, like if that's your thing, then yeah, I'll just keep it moving. You know what I'm saying? Because like I ain't no, I'm not letting no light skin dude fucking run game on me, bro. Like that's just how it is. But we're kind of getting off topic. It is what it is.
Yeah, yeah. All right. So I think that okay, we're gonna skip past the Kanye. I don't know if you told Trevor that, but we're gonna kind of skip past that question.
Oh,
But
okay.
that's something I did. Yeah. Shaq say, nah, bro, we ain't gonna discuss that right now. So I was like this. So what I did write in one of the topics is I did kind of want to have an Eminem conversation because when I was listening back to the old show, I remember Tariq said something about Eminem, and I had this idea. I say, I think I would want us to kind of have that slight conversation because is he like overrated or underrated in a sense? Because I have heard some people say he's underrated, but then I heard some people say, no, he's actually overrated. So I just kind of want to see what do y'all think on it? Like, what's y'all take on it?
It depends on what era because like Eminem now and Eminem then are like two different fucking people.
Very.
And it's like when people whatever like people talk about Eminem and how great he is of a certain rapper, they're talking about old Eminem because new Eminem like he's cool and he still has his cool like bars and moments, but certain shit he says it's like he sound like a old like he just sounds kind of like he's like a certain crowd is like yeah man like let's fucking like just talk shit about a certain audience all the fucking time, and it comes off a little bit disingenuous this time around. Even though like that's how he kind of got his career up, but when he was doing it back then, that nigga was like he actually felt that shit. Yeah, he could tell like he really just did not like the industry type shit.
Yeah.
But since now he's like the most, I think he's like the most successful rapper like ever. It kind of comes off weird, you know what I'm saying? And then like he dropped an album, and certain people uh start all of a sudden acting like they give a shit about rap, and it's just like nigga, don't like we know what you're doing. Like don't let's not do this. That's the only thing I don't like is that like. But to answer your question, sorry, I think he's perfectly rated. Uh, when people give him his flowers, he deserves it. But he's not as good right now as he was back then, which is fine.
100% agree. I'm a huge Eminem fan, but I will say his music has changed a lot. I thought it was cool for him branching out and doing new things, but it took away from the Eminem aspect. Like I remember he did a song with like Benny the Butcher and them. And I thought that was cool, but it was kind of weird because it's like
Yeah.
that's not his type of style of beats. And you know what I'm saying? It's just like he's rapping too fast on this track, and it just sounded kind of off. But um, I think like Eminem is like you said perfectly rated because of just how many rappers have talked about his just lyricism and how he's able to bend word. Like he was just very creative in his style, and there was just not a lot of people like him. So I would definitely say he is, if anything, I feel like he's a little bit overrated now because shit just sounds corny, and it just sounds like you were saying, like we're gonna have hate to a certain like group of people. That's what I was saying when that whole beef with him and MGK started. I like MGK's diss track so much because it just flowed better, it sounded a lot better, and then I listened to Killshot. I'm like, I mean, it's okay, I mean, it doesn't really. I don't know. I just wasn't really phased by it. But if this was like early 2000s, I would say Eminem is just at the top. But right now, I don't really feel that way.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, the
my opinion on it, he's in a good spot. As for being like overrated, it's I agree with everybody else. It's just I just want people to understand. It's just like, look, Eminem, like bro, okay, I'm gonna just say this. There's like this weird theory that I used to have was just like, and Trevin, fuck you, okay.
Huh?
Yeah, I saw what you
Oh.
commented, bastard. I had this weird theory that's like maybe rappers are better when they're on drugs. You know what I'm saying? Because like, and I'm not saying that should be the case, but I'm looking at like when Travis Scott was, on drugs like 2013, 2014, even 15, whatever. I appreciated his music way more back then than I did now. And I'm not saying he was probably on drugs like all the time, but
That nigga
like,
was on drugs.
huh?
So that nigga was on drugs.
Yeah, I was trying to be nice, but like, he was definitely on some other shit. You know what I'm saying? And but then you can also bring up the topic like Wiz Khalifa. Like Wiz Khalifa, he stay on weed. You know what I'm saying? He stays on that green. But and his music was definitely popping a lot way more back then. But I don't know if like I said, there was a period where I kind of just stopped listening to Wiz, and then when I try to go back to Wiz like 2020 or 19 or whatever the case is, it just wasn't hitting the same. And like I know it's not the drugs, maybe it's the beats or whatever, but it just
For Wiz?
yes, yes, yes. Now I mean, look, this from my experience. This from my experience. I don't know.
Right, okay.
Yeah, I don't like. I haven't really tapped in. Like the last time I really gave like Wiz like a full album like playthrough was whenever he dropped ONFISC or whatever the fuck that project was. So that was like 2012. You know what I'm saying? And then I heard like a couple singles like 2014, like Weed and Boys and all them shits or whatever. But other than that, like after that, like I didn't hear nothing much. And when I went back to listen to Wiz like a couple years later, it just didn't really feel the same. You know what I'm saying? It just didn't really tap in like that. But I could be wrong because I'm not an advocate Wiz listener like that, so I wouldn't know. But that's just up to debate. But for like I said, for Eminem, he's fine. He does talk about some corny shit nowadays, and I don't know if he's just doing that shit for fun, or maybe he is serious about the shit or whatever. But no matter what, at the end of the day, it's just like he's always gonna be in a good spot, regardless of if he drops like another album and it turns out to be fucking buns or whatever. Like he did his thing, so that's the best way we could just say it and leave it at that.
Bro, I couldn't even finish that.
mhm.
Yeah, I didn't finish
Yeah.
it either.
Well, wasn't and I'm just asking a question. Wasn't the death of Slim Shady, was that supposed to be his last Slim Shady album, or you
We don't
know?
know. We don't know.
Yeah, like it could be.
So,
Yeah.
Like we'll probably
okay, yeah,
we'll probably prefer it to be his last album because if we're being honest, homie doesn't need to drop any more music. You know what I'm saying? Like he can get some features every now and then, but he did his thing. He did his thing. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah.
I mean, any more closing opinions on the situation regarding Eminem, or any more opinions?
I'll just make a reference, and I'll make a reference to like other rappers, like with Eminem. Like now, this is the time I will bring up Kanye. You know what I'm saying? I'm not.
Oh look,
I'm not calling that nigga gay. Like I didn't grow up on that, so I don't give a fuck. I'm broker to him, so my opinion of him should not fucking matter. You know, but with Kanye, it's just like I wanted Kanye to just pretty much retire after fucking Donda. You know what I'm saying? He does not need to drop any more music. Because like I don't know if y'all been listening, but like this nigga talking about using AI in his fucking songs or whatever. I am strictly against that. I don't care. Like, to use it as a tool to, like, I guess, like, help with mixing, mastering, whatever. Cool. I can understand that. If that is a thing, you know what I'm saying? Video game companies do that with fucking frame rates or whatever, so I get that. But he demonstrated it on one of his like IG posts or whatever, reels or whatever. And I think he got like a rapper. I think his name was like Lil RT or some shit. I don't fucking know. Dude was rapping the verse, and then he used the AI to copy that same verse but in his voice. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, it's cool as like a scientific demonstration, but if you're trying to use that for your fucking projects or whatever, I can't vibe with that. You know what I'm saying? Now, and I'm looking at you, Kobe. Like AI is pretty cool. You know what I'm saying? It's pretty entertaining. I've seen a lot of people that use AI for certain shit for songs or whatever, and it can be pretty funny. Maybe even to the point like where if producers start using it for samples, whatever, that could be an interesting thing.
Yeah,
But
it's harmless.
yeah, it's harmless. But at the same time, I don't want like people were saying like Travis Scott's newest song, 4x4. They were saying he was sounding like AI on there. I don't agree with that because Travis Scott, he been using fucking autotune for like his whole fucking career. So like it could sound like computerized, whatever the case is. But I'm pretty sure he's not AI. But if it comes to find out that he did use AI on that fucking song, I'm gonna be like, nigga, you literally sound like a fucking robot. So why the hell are you using AI? You know what I'm saying? But and now in Kanye's case, from what we know, the reason why he's using AI is not because he's being lazy or whatever. Supposedly, that fucking 10 million fucking grill, that titanium grill that he has in his fucking mouth, it's hard for him to talk. Okay, no fucking shit. So you fucked yourself up. You know what I'm saying? Now you can't fucking rap, and now you gotta use a fucking tool to help get your fucking voices out, nigga. How, why? That's like you coming to. That's like me trying to find out like okay. So it feels like this is an old ass rapper. So I don't expect like half of us to remember. Trevin might remember this one. His name was no that wasn't a joke, by the way. That his name was the DOC. Right?
I was just about to bring that nigga up, bro.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah. So if y'all know anything about the DOC, he was like associated with NWA and shit like that. He was like, I think he was on his way to be like a top tier rapper or like trying to get in the rap game, but he got into a car accident and it fucked up his voice. So he had to end up just writing for niggas at that point. If anybody was in a situation like that, I would understand it to an extent because I'm pretty sure bro really wanted to become like a big time rapper, but because of a very horrific situation, that fucked him up. You know what I'm saying? And
yeah.
I would understand if he did end up just using AI just to like balance that shit out. Whatever, if people would agree with it or not, that's up to debate, but I can understand that situation, you know? But
I mean, he can't drop music, like like if he doesn't have that though.
yeah, I
It's
know.
like his only way of making music, and it's like I'm pretty sure that the lyrics that are being talked about are ones that he wrote.
Yeah,
So it's like I think that's the difference because when other people do it, they're able to rap them damn selves. They just choose not to.
yeah,
Like for my opinion, like in terms of AI and stuff like that, when it comes to vocals, the DOC, that type of situation is the only time where I'm actually like okay with it,
yeah,
and it has to be like their own material
right.
because the way that Drake did it in fucking Taylor Made, that was trash, and and things like that. People do that a lot, and but for producing, like I ain't gonna lie. Like you said, when they make AI samples, they sound really fucking good, and there's no reason not to sample them,
Mm-hmm.
to be honest.
Mm-hmm.
And you can also do like chord progressions and stuff. Like now to be like, it may seem underhanded, but you really don't need to know piano anymore or know keys anymore. You do need to know music theory if you want to, get further. But like, that's where that skill comes into play. I don't think you can AI replicate that,
Right.
no matter how hard you fucking try.
Right.
So it's like, no matter what, there's still something that keeps you from just clicking a button and just having your own sound that you can just go far in the music industry with. That
Yeah.
and that's music theory, because regardless of how you feel, it's like if you're in a studio with a certain rapper and they see that you don't do your own shit, that's it for your career.
Oh yeah, that's that.
You see, you know what I'm saying? Like rapper, producer, especially a motherfucker that does his own instrumentation, AI niggas, you can't be in a studio with Anderson .Paak. You just can't do
No.
that. So it's like that there's still like consequence for going that route. So like I think that authenticity aspect being so as much alive as it is, um, it's the reason why I think it really isn't gonna have that much of staying power in it. Even though there are people like Pharrell or um, one of the producers that I followed, Kaylin Ellis, like they embrace it. They still know their shit. Like Pharrell still knows keys and chord progressions, and so does Kaylin Ellis and people like him. So it's like, that there's still like a bit of like gatekeeping with the skill.
Mm-hmm.
That's how I feel about it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I also want to piggyback. I want to go back to the Eminem aspect just a little bit and piggyback from what Tariq said earlier. Um, Eminem really does not do good on certain types of beats. Like it is very apparent, like with the example that he gave, because
Bless
the
you,
ones that
brother.
he does the best on was like when he had that feature with Tech Nine. You know what I'm saying? I think it's called like Speed 'em or something.
Yeah.
That feature and the way that he did and that shit, that's like his bag. He does not do good on other types of beats, even with the one with Big Sean and stuff.
Wait.
That's
What?
that's what I was.
Hold on. What
Go
Big
ahead.
Sean song? No
No
favors?
favors.
You
Yeah,
tripping?
Nah, bro. Mm-mm.
What?
That,
it's the way he be
bro.
rapping,
No,
bro.
exactly, bro. I'm so glad you brought this up because I was so happy when that album came out, and I was like, oh, Eminem is like back in the what's the name because like it had been some time. When I heard that shit and he was like the way he started it off, I turned the volume down so quick, bro. Because he sounded like he was terrorizing the beat. Like, what the fuck are you doing, bro? Like, you
Yeah,
you can't be Slim Shady on everybody's what's the name. People want you on their what's the name because they know how creative you can get on other tracks. When he was rapping on Speed Up and when he was rapping on that other track with Busta Rhymes, Stop Now or whatever, or Calm Down,
yeah,
like that shit is perfect because
yeah,
for one, both of them are rapping fast, and then for two, it's like, all right, so however you're gonna do this, that's perfect. Big Sean is not a fast rapper. Big Sean's not one of those rappers where it's like you can put him in that category of just like pure lyricism. So it's like you have to kind of like match his kind of level or his tone or whatever to make the track sound good. When that shit played, I was like, bro, this shit is so ass, bro. This is like it's hard for I don't know what it is about Eminem, but it's like certain beats he really cannot be on, bro. Like he really can't. And it's like that it's crazy because like a lot of the stuff like Dre, like Dr. Dre had him on and the other producers, he did great. Like the Berserk song, that's a whole fucking rock song. It's like how can you sound good on that, but then you have these other rappers and stuff like that put you on and you don't really sound that well or it doesn't really sound that good.
I got a theory on that because depending on the song, niggas is just dick riding him, and they're not telling him that he needs to do better or that he needs to like actually match the energy. Because with Speed 'em and Calm Down, if he didn't turn in the verse that he turned in, he would have been outdone by like Tech Nine and Busta Rhymes respectively.
I don't
Especially when
think
you,
so.
I mean, because like the story of how the verse of Calm Down happened, like he had to redo his verse like 3 times
Mm.
because of Busta Rhymes'. I mean, Busta Rhymes had to redo his too because he wanted like a he wanted like a radio hit, so he was like rapping a certain way. But then when Eminem came out with one verse and rapped the way that he did, Busta was like, "Oh fuck that!" It just redid his verse, and then Eminem heard that he was like, "Oh fuck that!" And then he
Yeah,
redid his verse, and
yeah,
like
yeah.
same
Go
yeah,
ahead.
and the same thing happened with the Tech Nine song because I mean I think with the Tech Nine song is different because like Tech Nine had two verses, right?
Yeah,
And when the second his when the second verse came through, like Eminem already did his. So but when he heard Tech Nine's, he was like, "What the fuck I'm supposed to do with this?" Like he couldn't do a do over or nothing like that. But it was a respect thing because I think he turned that verse in for free. But it's
Yeah.
just like when he's on songs with people who match that skill level, it makes for a better song just entirely. And and Eminem doesn't like fuck around with his verses. But like when he's on a song with people like Big Sean or the Griselda members, he like you said, he doesn't match their energy or doesn't match like the vibe of the song, and then
Yeah.
it just makes it like it doesn't make for a good verse from him, at least in my opinion. And that happens way too often.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
agree. I agree, but the thing, like you said, like them going back and forth, it wasn't because their verses sounded bad. They were just competing. They were like, oh
Yeah,
nah, like okay, but it wasn't that. That wasn't the case for Big Sean, because like Big Sean, like I mean, not that it ever will be, but like that just wasn't the case. And I'm saying like if Big Sean is putting out like just basic ass what's the names, then you should be able to be like, okay, this is how he's on this track. Boom,
oh,
I'm gonna do that because
I got you.
I agree with that. Like everything that you said was 100% correct. But you got to look at it like Busta Rhymes is something to compete with. Like
Yeah,
Busta Rhymes is not gonna. He don't care who's on the track. Method Man could be on there. He's like, listen, if your verse is better than mine, we're gonna have to keep rewriting this shit until we get it right. Until we can both be like, all right, it is what it is. Like we just both them niggas. It's not that case for Big Sean. So it's like if that's not the case, then why wouldn't you ask him? All right, look, I'm sounding a little too aggressive on this track. How do you want me to sound on this? Like, does this sound good to you? Or like, you know what I'm saying? Like like
yeah,
somebody, he could be asking these things and stuff like that. Like
yeah,
not you don't need a Eminem. Like you don't need to sound like Slim Shady on every track. You can do something different because there's plenty of examples that we have from your career where you were doing stuff that was different.
Yeah.
I got you. It's a matter of him being able to notice that he doesn't match what's going on, and yeah, I got you. My bad.
You good, bro. It made a lot of sense what you were saying. I was like, all I was just really trying to add to your point is like, if that, I wish that were the case. Like Eminem and Big Sean were like writing verses back and forth where it was like, damn, like how are we gonna settle this? I wish that was the case, but it just really wasn't, and it just goes back to your point to saying like it's just certain stuff he just doesn't sound good on, and
Yeah,
I don't know why, because you listen to like the Shady LP or you listen to the Marshall Mathers or whatever albums or singles that he's made, he's done great jobs on them and stuff like that, with and without other artists that are completely out of his genre of like music preference. So it's
yeah,
like, why not, why can't you match that energy, especially you're rapping with a rapper that comes from the same place as you, like that y'all are both Detroit rappers, like y'all should be able to be like, all right, how are we gonna do this? Because we're both different rappers, but we gotta make this track sound good. You know what I'm saying?
yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's true.
All right, Dewan.
all right, man.
What else you got?
It, it okay. Yeah. Oh, you had an opinion on Eminem,
Nah,
Shaq? You can
nah,
close this
nah.
thing.
Tyreek and Trevin, they had, they had, they had their foot in the game with that one, bro. I ain't got nothing to say, bro.
Yeah. Yeah, they did that one well. All right. So another topic I want to talk about, like it seems like in music now, everybody's kind of like mysterious. Like you don't really know the artist anymore. Like, it's like rappers starting to drop albums and they disappear for 3, 4, 5 years. And we used to see that with just OGs. People that like Jay or Nas or any other old rapper. you know, we used to them coming in and like and then leaving, but then we're starting to see like modern artists still taking 3, 4, 5 year gaps. I mean, we see that with Big Sean, we see that with Wale sometimes. It's like I wonder like why is that now a thing? Because you would think that right now rappers would be dropping music more because of where the state of where music is.
Hmm.
But it's like it seems like a lot of rappers are starting to take breaks from music, and it's like I feel like some artists cannot afford to take a 3 year gap, you know,
Right.
and that's just my personal opinion. So I just want to get y'all takes on it. Like, you know, are these rappers should rappers be allowed to take 4 or 5 year breaks, or is
No.
this
It
okay?
it depends. It depends. Like,
Because no, but the reason why I say that, hold on, let me add this one little point.
hmm
Because the younger artists are doing it too. So it's not just the older artists. It's the younger artists doing the same thing too. So it's starting to be like this thing where it's like, man, okay, you get an album and then it's like 4 years 4 years down the road, they drop their another album. But by the time they drop their second album, you don't really have a hunger for the music because it's like, okay, man, you done just disappeared.
Yeah. It's it's because like I think so. My thing is that like I think that's gonna change soon or like in the next like few years because it has to do with like streaming, like the streaming model, because like people literally can't do mixtapes anymore because people if it's dropped for free they can't put it on streaming platforms, but somebody else can put it on streaming platforms, and boom, that's like their song, right? And the label can't do nothing about it because it wasn't dropped officially. You know what I'm saying? But that used to be the case with mixtapes because that was like that piff was like the shit, and people were using that to to fill the hunger between albums.
you're right.
Because like if there's nothing between the albums, that's a problem. Like if all you're relying on is just features or something, that's the biggest problem because like I don't like when they're doing that. And the reason why I'm saying that I think that's gonna change is because you see that certain artists are dropping on like individual like websites for like just to directly could like buy it like, early before it gets on streaming platforms. And I think that once it that takes off and that people start to see that there's more profit in that, even the labels too. Um, I think that because like Snoop Dogg is he's not fucking with Spotify because they don't fucking pay people, and it's like once you see that that starts to change, I think that that's where you're gonna start seeing not only more music but more high quality music too because the
Mm.
payout is better.
Yeah, I think of just using a reference, I think about, Gucci back in 2010, 2011. Maybe it was just a Southern thing. I know the music business was different back then, but he was dropping
Yeah,
mixtapes like crazy,
yeah,
like to the point where I didn't even know he was in jail that entire time because he was just dropping music like he was still free. But it's like, yeah, I do notice that. Trevor, you was about to say something?
um, I was just gonna, I was just gonna, bring up, who that he
Who?
had Big Crit that he was dropping mixtapes out the motherfucking wazoo, just not just like Gucci Mane, but it's just like he had mixtapes dropping that sounded as good as albums that came out like every year. We ain't now. I'm not fucking getting that shit, and now I'm pissed off because of the
Okay.
streaming models.
Okay.
And he's independent.
Okay. That's good to know.
I
Uh,
think I
oh,
think
go.
another thing. Oh, my bad.
Now go ahead, Terry. Go ahead.
No, 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 go ahead, go ahead.
Uh, all, all I have to say about that, as you know what, I literally, I literally forgot the topic just now. Oh
It's
shit.
rappers is taking too long to release music.
The
Oh,
mysterious thing.
oh yeah, the mysterious shit. My bad, my bad. I was tuned out for a second. My thing with that, I don't. Okay, for example, like Kendrick, right? When he kind of disappeared, like after the whole, I want to say the Black Panther soundtrack or whatever, and like I think the only feature that we had got from him was the one with Rich the Kid, or whatever. I I was
That's
just
all.
kind of look when he came back like around 2021, 2022. It was cool, but I noticed like the shift of like how people like felt about him, like it shifted like drastically. You know what I'm saying? And it's like I don't have a problem whenever rappers like take like a minute. I just say, hey, just drop like a song or drop like a like a little EP, or drop a untitled unmaster. Some shit from back in the day, just to feed the streets once in a while. You know what I'm saying? We need a little bit of something every now and then. Bro was just quiet, and I understood the reason why he kind of disappeared for a while. But at that time, I and I'm gonna just be honest. At the time, I had kind of dropped Kendrick from like not like my favorite rapper or at least top three, but like I was putting Cole over him way more because Cole he Cole, like even though he was just like even though he was kind of like silent for like a while too, like when he came back, bro was just like pumping out songs like every fucking minute. You know what I'm saying? Like, and if it wasn't songs, then he was pumping out features, and those features lasted more than like his whole KOD album. You know what I'm saying?
Well,
And huh? No.
no, I'm saying like Cole has it's kind of different though because he's a producer. So like he makes his own beats and he's independent. Not independent, but he has his own like label and shit that like that he's on. Like he was treating them niggas like how Jay Z was treating his, not Jay Z. Like well yeah, like how Jay Z used to treat his fucking artists that are under Rock Nation.
Yeah.
Like he was everywhere, and like even if you didn't hear him on a song, you heard him make a beat for a nigga. You know what I'm saying? It's like, but Kendrick at the time, I think like in the era that you're talking about, he was still under TDE,
Mm-hmm.
and I don't know if and he had writer's block. Now, in my opinion, as competitive as rap is, that's not a good excuse. But it's that's like, I guess that's subjective. You know what I'm saying? But it's like since he was able to have that excuse and people were able to wait because he was at the level that he was, that's why people accepted that.
Um.
It,
I mean, yeah. Like like I said, we don't know we don't really know what was like really going on like during like from 2019 to fucking 2021 or whatever. Like we didn't really know what's going on other than like yeah, he had writer's block. I don't think I'm not gonna bring that up because then it'll just sound messy. But
yeah,
like he he was going through like a lot of other stuff or whatever, and then like even the no name situation when she was bringing up like where Kendrick and Cole at during the marches and like the George Floyd stuff or whatever, like they popped out, but they didn't really pop out because she said something. They just popped out because they popped out or whatever. But
yeah.
like it's not an excuse, but I just can't just like sit around and just act like okay, what's the reason why these niggas will not really drop anything? Because then we get into like certain subjects like Roddy Rich, right? He for some fucking reason, and I'm just going to say it. I don't care if anybody feels some type of way. I fucked up. I don't care if anybody feels some type of way about it. I feel like when niggas was hyping up Roddy Rich, I feel like it was the same reason why niggas was hyping up Lil Baby. I didn't fucking get it. I didn't. He's cool. The album wasn't.
Wait, hold on. What?
Yes. And I'm gonna say it again. Roddy Ricch is cool. His first album was pretty cool, but I didn't see the big hype in him. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if it's because like this because fucking The Box was just like a really popping song that like niggas thought that like he was like the next coming of Christ or whatever the case is, but like I didn't get that. I didn't get that when I listened to his first album. And even when I went back and listened to it, I still don't. I'm still sticking by that opinion. And I'm not saying that Roddy Ricch is like a bad rapper or whatever, or even a mid rapper, you know. But it wasn't nothing that like it wasn't nothing big, you know. And same thing with Lil Baby. Like, okay, we're always gonna bring up My Turn, dope ass album. It is a dope ass album. Pretty cool. When he dropped the bigger picture during the George Floyd stuff or whatever, amazing ass song. Probably one of my favorite songs from him. You know what I'm saying? But y'all talking about y'all comparing him to like Wayne's era during like Carter 3 and shit like that. I'm like, nigga, what the fuck y'all niggas talking about, bro? Them niggas ain't saying shit. You know what I'm saying? They just
Hold
saying
on,
these.
bro.
They're
Certain
not.
shit you don't gotta entertain though.
It's not, but it's just like.
Hold on.
Go ahead.
I had to pause you at the Roddy Ricch conversation. You
Okay.
know, I wasn't. I feel like to that artist, the hype was worth it. And I'm gonna say this, bro. The Box wasn't a song that I was crazy about. I do feel like it was overplayed, but I feel like the creativity in the song, like the melody,
Yeah.
the way the beat stops, it was the creativity. It was like he was having fun. And that's why I feel like the song was so big, because it's like, okay, this it was just like the creativity. It was like kind of how back where we were saying how we want artists to have more fun again, and
Yeah.
that's how to me I feel like the song was worthy of the hype. Now going back, that first album, bro, that album was good, bro. Like that I'm
Sometimes I be
antisocial.
antisocial. Yeah.
Yeah, bro. That album, and it's perfect because they don't have a whole lot of songs on it. I don't even think he had a lot of features on the album. But this goes back into the other topic, and I wasn't trying to bring it up right now, but I need to prove my point. I feel like uh first classic albums, not classic album, but first debut good albums could be a curse. Like, because I feel like if your first album is like, really, really, really dope, the expectations are gonna be real high for everything else you drop after that. You know, so I feel like that's what happened with him, because when he dropped that second album, everybody was thinking like, man, all right, this gonna be better than the first one.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes a lot of artists cannot reach that expectation
Right.
of their first album. So that people end up just, okay, well, they fell off. It's not that he fell off. People didn't like his second album. The same thing happened to Lil Baby. The same thing will happen to a lot of artists. People start keep comparing them to that first album that they dropped. So that's what I wanted to say.
Um, but before I forget, like, what did Tariq? What were you trying to say earlier?
No, I was just trying to add in that I feel like
Oh my
sometimes
god.
it can be a little bit frustrating for artists to know like what to make next. Like I'm not a big fan of Drake, but one thing I will say that I thought I was like kind of confused about was how he was doing a lot of these music with like these kids, and there's nothing wrong with that, but it's like you're an old ass nigga doing music with Yeet. It's like, come on, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? I feel
Yeah.
like it's stuff like that where it's like, what more are we gonna do? Because like in my opinion, Drake, if you're reading this is too late, that album was just it was a masterpiece. It was great. And then everything after that was just kind of like I didn't want him to like make a part two of that or anything, but just kind of taking that same creativity, energy, and making that into another
Yes.
album. And
Yes.
we didn't get that for the longest, and we still haven't got that. So it's like
Mm-hmm.
it's so hard for any artist to like. I feel like sometimes that is the reason why a lot of artists like you know what I'm saying take a long time because they don't know what to do. The first thing that is that I feel like I went through Drake's mind was okay, who's trending right now, so I can go ahead and just make music with them just so I'm relevant, and then
Yeah.
let people do what they do. Now, if it's somebody like Nas or Suicide Boys or somebody who a lot of us can like be like, all right, it was worth the wait. I feel like they're doing it because they want to. There's a lot of creativity that they're trying to invest into this album, so they don't want to just put out something that we already heard already, because then it's just like okay, it starts to become a point of like, all right, we already heard this. what's next. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I feel like it's that, and then it's also these the industry. They just signing a bunch of whatever artists. It's like we already heard this artist 17 different other labels say the same exact thing, do the same exact thing, sound the same exact way, and it's like they keep signing these artists. It's like I don't understand why the industry keeps on signing trap artists or just artists that are just not that sound exactly the same. Like you can. That's what Snoop Dogg was saying. Snoop Dogg was like, the problem with today's music is that for one, it's a kids game. It's not a man's game anymore. Kids game. And then for two, everybody sound the same. It was
Mm-hmm.
just like one of the things that he was saying too was like how back then he was like it might have been like two rappers that sounded the same back then. I think he said it was Dana Dane and Slick Rick, and that's crazy because like you look at the era that he came up in, there were so many different artists. But now you look at the era now, bro, everybody's trying to sound like the next best thing. So I
Yeah.
feel like that could be another reason why a lot of the OG rappers that we are OG artists that we listen to, they don't want to make music because it's like if I have to make music, then if I'm going to release something, I have to release what these nobodies is releasing because then nobody's going to want to listen to what I have to say. I have to keep up with that, with whatever's trending. And I feel like that's also what makes a lot of rappers not want to make music or take too long to make music because they're waiting for whatever's trending to die down so that they can be like, all right, now it's my turn to put something else out. Because
Yeah.
that was the problem with Eminem. Eminem was trying too hard to sound too up to date. And it's like we don't need that shit. You're already great the way you are. Why are you trying to sound different? Like continue doing what you've been doing, but he kind of lost us. Now he changed his whole thing, trying to sound like everybody else is doing. J. Cole too, and Kendrick Lamar.
Well, with Kendrick, he mm, Kendrick is kind of less so though. Like, cause I know like he's on like a song with Kodak and stuff and things like that. But like a lot of the people that hit me on songs that people don't know.
No, what I'm saying is like Kendrick. I don't know, man. It's like after Damn, I Kendrick's music just changed, bro. I don't know
Oh
if it was
yeah,
just because he took too long, like trying to figure out things, and if you were saying like the writer's block thing, I definitely understand that, bro. MF Doom talked about that, but
yeah.
it's like MF Doom didn't change so much, and that's what I was trying to figure out, like
Oh, okay.
why Kendrick Lamar changed so much, bro. That's why, like bro, I can't like the album that he had with his kids on there and his wife. I might have listened to like two songs from that because it's just not the same, bro. I'm not saying he has to make another Good Kid, Mad City or Pimp a Butterfly. Like I'm not saying he needs to do that, but he's not the same artist, and it just sounds like it's. I don't know. I just can't.
It's
I can't listen to it.
it's 100% the streaming model and the way the industry is, like you're saying, because as good as To Pimp a Butterfly is, it's his worst performing album. You
Mm,
know, it sold the least. It did the least on the charts. There's not a. I don't think there was a single that I think it charted, but I don't think any of them went number one. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? And you see that once Damn came out, which is the very next project, that nigga was everywhere. Like on, I think every track was on the charts. It was in the top 10. Well, it doesn't make any sense
right.
because there's like 13 tracks, but that's like, and same thing happened with the album after. Not as much as Damn, because Damn was like had Rihanna and shit on it, right? But
Yeah,
like the Black Panther album that had Disney money behind it. But it's like once like the industry started once he figured out the game, like how the industry is working right now, he started shifting his sound with that. And since he has good producers behind him, like Soundwave and fucking I forgot the name of the other guy, Terrence Martin and shit,
hmm
they're able to easily like adjust their styles and stuff, and it just allowed for that to happen and for him to be like a shifty tone. Like he I don't think he'll I that's why I'm saying I want that shit to just like stop, because like I don't think that like I think that once they get to the fucking you buy your shit, like you buy the shit on their platform, they're able to actually like fund getting other talent and doing authentic music again. At least in my
Mm,
opinion. Because
mm,
yeah, GNX sounded industry as fuck.
yeah.
Like you could tell he had a mission with that.
I don't know. It's just like I agree. It is frustrating, like having an artist take that long. It was one of the main things that I could not stand about like J. Cole, because when he came back and made, what was it, Free Your Eyes, or something like that. I can't remember the name of that album, but it was decent. It was cool, but it was like this is what you dropped after how long of disappearing on us?
Mr. Morale?
Nah, I think it's that the album J. Cole made with
Oh,
where he was talking about his kids and folding
yeah,
laundry or
yeah, for
folding
you,
clothes or whatever.
yeah, for your eyes only, yeah.
Yeah, it was cool. I liked it just because I'm a J. Cole fan, but I feel like that's not what we kind of waited for, especially because both of those niggas dropped Black Friday, and then there was just like we were like, oh shit, we ready for this album? We ready for,
Oh,
you
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? I was like let's go. Like I'm waiting for Kendrick and what's the name? Both of them just killed that song Black Friday on different verses. Like I'm like, yo, this is gonna sound good. Now, like they're beefing with each other now, or they were beefing, and then J. Cole took the song down, and now Kendrick's beefing with Drake. I just felt like it's a waste of time. Like we could have been had like a great album or a great project or whatever. That could have been great, but now we're listening to fucking Not Like Us and all this other weird new stuff that they're. I don't know, man.
No, that's true. No, you
so, hold on. To kind of get my pinpoint on that, um, I did find it kind of weird. Not now that you brought that up, I did find it weird because also I'm kind of talking on my other channel because I had to check on Zeta real quick. But I did find it weird that like yeah, after Black Friday they had like this fucking energy like they was like on some fucking Goku and Vegeta shit. You know what I'm saying? Like they
Yeah,
was ready to like take over the stuff and like I understand why people thought that they was gonna drop an album together. You know what I'm saying? I
yeah.
understood that, but it's like something happened during that time. Not saying that something happened between both of them, but something happened during that time where like they didn't fucking do that. And even with Drake, because 20, I want to say after Nothing Was the Same, Drake started like started to like do some more Toronto shit. Like 2014 and 2015 Drake like that he was like on some dark experimental, I don't say house, but like he was like on some he like that was like peak Drake. That was like the best Drake ever fucking probably done. And I don't care if he did have Quentin Miller writing his fucking songs, whatever. Like he had the energy for that shit. And then for some reason, Kendrick, Drake, and Cole all did this. The next project that they did after when like they had like that massive like demonic energy, whatever, it shifted to something more calm and like nothing like what they did before. Because after Damn and Black Panther, he made Mr. Morale a couple years later, which was like a more personal album, and he was talking about something that like he was going through and whatever the case is. Okay, so you went through a little trial period, cool, but I can't give you that either because literally the year before or the same year, you was on a song with your cousin, Baby Keem, and he was talking about smoking on your top five. Bro, why are you doing this now? And then the next minute you drop an album when you don't even have the same energy anymore.
Oh
And then
yeah.
right after that, you're back on Demon Time again, which is confusing. Then there's Cole. Uh Before For Your Eyes came out, he dropped those two songs, which was like talking about like rappers like Lil Uzi and Lil Yachty and whatever the case is, and like
yeah,
saying that like how like rap is like changed and whatever. And you talking your shit like we listening. For Your Eyes come out, your is also another introspective album, which is a beautiful album. But
that could have just waited until after you had this energy out, because like we thought you was gonna still have that same energy after 2014 Forest Hills, because you had a balance of stepping on the gas and also kind of keeping things personal and being introspective. You know what I'm saying? There was like
Yeah.
a nice balance between it. But for some reason, you didn't do that during 2016, and then 2017, nothing again. Then 2018, KOD drops out. Like, yeah, you're trying to like kind of fit in with the cool kids or whatever the case is, whatever. But it ain't really shit. You know what I'm
I
saying?
think
And I went back and listened to KOD like a couple days ago, and I'm like, bro, like, what was you really doing with this fucking project? You know what I'm saying?
I think
Like,
he learned from that though, because off season was cool,
yeah,
and it had
that's
a
why
good amount of hype behind it.
and that's what I'm about to bring up, and that's why like I was telling Dewan, I was telling Dewan too. I'm like, yo, like I felt. I'm not gonna lie, I didn't remember off season like that, because like I listened to it once and I didn't really think too much of it. But going back, I'm like, Cole was really stepping on the gas, and like I
I
think
mean,
like you said, he understood it. It's just like, okay, you know what? I kind of fucked up with this soft shit and this goofy shit. I already made my mistake. Let me let niggas know that, like, bro, I'm really that guy. You know what I'm saying?
Yes,
for half
bro.
the for half the album.
You know, yeah. And he did that thing. But once again, 2024, he dropped the project. You know, I don't know if it was like after the beef or during the beef or before
Might
the
delete
might
later.
delete whatever. But
It was
he was
during.
on he was on niggas' necks. But as soon as like he kind of, and I get it, he wasn't trying to get involved with this drama shit or whatever. But at the same time, bro, if niggas cooking you and talking about your pen and like all this other stuff, like trying to take your stripes away or whatever, and you're not about it, bro, what the fuck are you doing, dog?
No. Fuck that, bro. We put J. Cole in that fucking top 3 for a reason. I don't know what, like, why the fuck are you putting your we surrender flag, nigga? We put you in the top 3, like, bro. This is what I don't understand about J. Cole. Like you said, the nigga, I think it was called False Prophets. That's what it was. When I heard
Yeah,
Yeah.
that, I was like, finally, this nigga is like clapping back, bro. Then this nigga starts doing songs with Little Pump and all these other. I'm like, bro, what the fuck are you doing, bro? Like,
Yeah.
you
yes,
just said that this was the reason. Little, I think in that verse he said, "Little whatever, you just backstage whatever he said," because that's what it
yeah,
was. Everybody was being these little whatever, and then it's like you talk about that, and then you're doing songs with them. Like this is what I don't under. This is why, like I was saying, like J. Cole's music is so different, bro. Like it's not the same at all. And same thing with Kendrick. It's like, well, Kendrick is a different story, but J. Cole bro. I'm so glad you brought this up
I mean, there was
because
a
that
reason
was
he did that though.
no,
Like,
but
yeah,
bro, we put you up there though. We
yeah,
put you up there. Like, I understand. Yes, like not wanting to fuck with Kendrick is just like it's just one of those things. But Kendrick's pen game is not the same as it used to be. J.
yeah,
Cole's pen game isn't the same as it used to be. So it's like, what would have like what? How much would you have really lost if both of y'all music is not the same as we thought it was? You know what I'm saying? Like y'all doing something different, so it wouldn't really make a whole lot of sense for you to be like, oh, nah, I'm just gonna chill back and not get too involved. What you mean, nigga? We put you in the top 3. Like, there's a reason why we put you on there because you were known to be him. You were that guy. Like you put yourself on that platform. Like nobody handed J. Cole nothing. Like
yeah,
he did all of that on his own. Same thing with Kendrick Lamar. Like nobody handed none of them, like both of them, nothing. And that's exactly why we compare them and say that they're the Biggie and Tupac of our generation because nobody handed them nothing, and they're both great artists alone. So
No, I
it's like,
mean they both had their pushes in the
yeah,
early
okay,
days.
right, but what I'm trying to say is like they rose to the level because they were deserving
Yeah,
of that. Like
yeah,
like they're great artists. Like you can go and listen to their old stuff and even their newest stuff. It's kind of basic. It's still decent. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
It's not the way it used to be. But like we put J. Cole there. So it's like when we want you to get back at rappers and stuff like that, it's like, bro, do that. Like you've done it before. You've been in a situation where niggas was talking down on your name and you stood up and did what you had to do. Like what's different now? You know what I'm saying?
I
So,
think. Oh my bad.
nah, go ahead.
I think it's just. I think it's just because like because wasn't he like talking with like who was it Schoolboy or something
Yeah,
like that? Like, didn't
yeah.
like Schoolboy talk to
Schoolboy
him?
had texted him and shit.
Like it's like him like the beef was different between Kendrick and Drake than opposed to like J Cole and Kendrick. Because with J Cole and Kendrick, it's strictly the music. Like
Hmm.
there's no personal like issues between them like at all. They're both
Hmm.
just very talented individuals that are peers. Like they both see each other as peers, even though like between like what the stuff that Kendrick was saying was just common like basketball on the court type of energy, like can't no nigga guard me type shit.
Yeah.
It's just when I think Schoolboy, it was like Schoolboy Q told him, it's like it ain't what you think it is. Like he literally real life does not like this nigga, and it's best that you don't get involved with what's about to happen. Which is I think is why he apologized. But if like it doesn't mean that like he's scared of him. It's just considering how it came out, like what happened after the apology, that was the right move, at least in my opinion, because it doesn't make him a worse MC. It's just that if the beef was strictly about the music, then it would be stupid for him to back out, but it wasn't.
It
So it's
was
like
though. It
it was
was
for
though.
them too, but not for Kendrick and Drake.
Nigga, fuck Drake. We bro, we off Drake. We've been off Drake since I don't know how long. Like Drake has never. That's what I'm trying to say. Drake has never been. Shouldn't have ever been in the conversation with those two
Oh
artists.
yeah, I agree
Never.
with that. I agree with
So
that.
so so that's what I'm saying. So it should have been like just Kendrick Lamar and J. Cole. Like
Yeah,
Drake should have never like we should have Kendrick Lamar should have been like, bro, I'm not gonna get involved in this shit because like, bro, this nigga's corny. Nobody takes this nigga seriously. I'm finna just do me. And Kendrick Lamar made it very, very clear where he said, listen, it's not like I have anything against y'all. It's just I'm trying to be number one. Okay, great. That's fantastic. J. Cole is also trying to be number one too. So it's like I never really thought about it like Kendrick Lamar was specifically like dissing like these two on a personal level. He's just trying to say,
Oh,
yo, I want to be up here because this is what I want to do. Like this
yeah,
is me. Like I'm Kendrick Lamar. Like it's nothing personal against y'all, but in this music shit, it's me, bro. Like
yeah,
no, you can't say nothing. And it's like, all right. So now we're waiting on J. Cole. All right, J. Cole, what the fuck you gonna say to this shit? Like we
right.
know you got bars. We know you got.
oh.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So,
and it started out like that, but then Drake said his wife's name. That was what changed
That's
everything. At
yeah.
least between
That's what fucked things up.
had Drake not did that dumbass shit like he always does, it J Cole should have fucking stayed in the should have just stayed in because it would have just been about the
uh,
music.
got you.
But it's like since that happened, it became something different, and like everybody that associated with Kendrick was telling J Cole, it's not in that realm anymore, dog.
But
Like
wait. When did Cole get that text though? Because did he get that shit like after the first Drake song, or did he get it like before?
he got it. He what the shit with Schoolboy.
Yeah.
I'm assuming like I mean I think only he can really answer it, but I'm assuming that it was after he dropped Might Delete Later and like right before he apologized. I think the common consensus was like while he was backstage at that show.
No, and no, because the reason why I'm asking that is because I'm not trying to make this to a whole Drake Kendrick thing or whatever the case is, but like it's kind of help with this, right? The thing is with that is like I understand, like, okay, when Kendrick said the whole, fuck the big three or whatever the case is, I understand it from that point. And at that point, yeah, J. Cole, that's when he should have said something right then and there to kind of like, get his foot out or whatever. But during that time, Drake didn't drop nothing yet, as far as we know. He didn't drop nothing yet. J. Cole's the only one who dropped something during that time. It was because I remember in the song Drake said like, Cole said that like the shit was weak as fuck or whatever. So yeah, so J. Cole was
What
the well,
what did Cole drop?
he dropped the album, and during that time, that's when he also dropped the 7 minute drill song or whatever. So like that shit was already about to get started up. You know what I'm saying? Why?
I
But
thought
what's up?
I thought Push Ups dropped before that.
Was it?
Yeah, didn't push-ups drop in like March?
Everything was dropping around
Oh
the
no!
same
Oh no! No! No!
time.
No! 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 You're right. You're right. You're right.
Yeah,
My Delete Later came out first, and then push-ups dropped like
exactly.
a
And
week and a
that
half
and that
later.
was
Okay.
and yeah, and that was my point. At that point, like at that specific moment, Kendrick and Cole, they could have went toe to toe with each other at that time because now, yeah, Kendrick, all he was saying like, hey, I'm the top three. That should have been Cole's moment to just say his part after around that time or whatever. But I think what fucked things up because like I'm saying, Drake didn't drop nothing yet. Everything was still kind of silent. I don't know why Q or anybody else had to tell Cole to like butt out of the fucking conversation because they weren't nothing was like nothing was like dramatized yet. All it just was is just like was just saying, "Hey, I'm the big head honcho." But because he got that text or he got he got that talk or whatever, Cole butted out. But he didn't even need to do all of that stuff because nobody knew it was going to get this fucking bad. If y'all understand what I'm saying,
I do. I do.
Yeah, yeah.
you know what I'm saying? Like then at that point it would have been Cole versus Kendrick, and then Drake right after. Drake would have just end up losing anyway, and then we would have saw for sure how the Kendrick and Cole thing would have went down. And it probably wouldn't even went down that bad. If anything, it would probably would have been one of the greatest things, and it could have been a potential that Kendrick would be the top three out of all three of them, or it would have been Cole the top three out of all three of them. But we didn't get to that part yet because somebody told Cole to butt out, and I think that's where things started to like cause the confusion at.
I will say that if his reasoning is the actual reason, prioritizing your mental health is important.
Mm-hmm. Right.
I will say that if that's the actual reason, even though rap is a very competitive sport, I get that. But if it really did not sit well with him, that what he was doing with the result of all that and how it came out, if it really didn't sit well with him and he made that decision himself, in my opinion, I can't fault him for that. Even though it isn't good for the sport, I do understand prioritizing your mental health over that because if he believes that he would have lost an actual fucking buddy because of some shit that another nigga does not really give a fuck about, is acting like that would have he would have just took a L as a result of it, in my opinion. You know what I'm saying?
Uh.
But
Yeah.
that's what I'm saying. Cause like get attacking him with Drake, like it wouldn't have worked because Drake don't give a fuck about him. You know what I'm saying? That's like how but I think he really does fuck with Kendrick and vice versa. So it's like he ain't trying to just step on that if it's in that realm that he was told. If he was told something. You feel me? He's like, I'm not trying to get into some really, really big shit if it gets to that point.
I mean, I don't know. I guess that like yeah, he probably just looked at it as like, look, Kendrick already got enough going on, so I'm gonna just like just chill out or whatever. But at the same time, we've seen rap beats before where it's just like other people were involved, and sometimes it took like about like two or three niggas to go against each other. Because remember, if y'all remember from like from the '90s or anything like that, like when Big was coming out, uh, um, I'm starting to forget. I'm starting to forget homie's name. Raekwon. Raekwon had an issue with fucking Big because he thought he was taking his style or some shit like that, right? And then Raekwon was telling Nas like, "Yo, like Big is also taking your style too, and he's running with that shit." So like there was like an issue. I'm not. I already know that Nas and Raekwon never had issues with each other, but there was also the fact that like remember when Nas was like saying that like he kind of also bit off of both of them, and if
Yeah.
and look, I'm just kind of just putting this into like a different perspective. If shit was that went down like that, what if if it came down to like it was like Raekwon versus Nas versus Big situation, you think any of them dudes would have did what you think any of them would have done what Cole would have done?
Back out?
Yeah,
No,
back then.
because that's still rooted in the music. Like that still like has to do with the music. It's like however it went It started because of like music related stuff. The thing with the beef with these three niggas is that only one of them is aware, or only one of them are thinking that it is a music related beef when it's not.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying?
Right. Okay. Yeah.
That's why I think that he apologizes, because he probably thinks that dropping a song like that, he didn't even say nothing that really bad in there about Kendrick in 7 Minute Drill.
He
That
didn't.
really would have made him. But it's like he felt that Kendrick is the type of nigga to hold like super huge grudges, or because Drake did that shit when Control wasn't even that big of a diss. Drake's the only nigga that took that shit like it was a fucking personal attack. So
Right.
it's like he thought that a 7 Minute Drill came out, and I think this nigga is gonna actually not fuck with me for some shit, and I actually helped put him on, and now it seems like I'm being a fucking, like, I don't know the term, but you know, like someone who like puts you on, then later just becomes like a fucking bully or something like that.
Yeah.
It just looks weird on. It will just look weird on Cole's like perspective. But
Yeah.
that's why I mean, it sounds like I'm like defending him for apologizing or nothing like that. I'm only saying that based on what he says, I get that. That's all I'm saying.
Okay.
But it,
Okay.
but if like, in the spirit of hip hop, if it was strictly about the music, but that was before I fucking found out that that 7 Minute Drill came out before all that shit. If it was strictly about the music, then he shouldn't have fucking apologized. But
Right.
he made the right call. He made the right call considering how it turned out.
That's what I'm saying, bro. Like the fact that Schoolboy, bro. First of all, shout out to Schoolboy for even reaching out and stuff like
Yeah,
that. I
good
think that
looks.
was cool as hell. But
Yeah.
at the same time, Schoolboy, not Schoolboy, but J. Cole should have been like, yo, what's what's really going down? Because I'm making this shit because I'm competing with you on a music aspect. What's really going what's really going down? Is this really between you and Drake, or is this between you? Like, what's going on? Because it's
Yeah,
like J. Cole is already a competitive type of rapper. Like J. Cole ain't like, bro. J. Cole basically J. Cole is not somebody to fuck with, because it's
yeah,
like you may never know how you gonna piss this nigga off and what he's gonna say and yada yada. That's just how J. Cole is. Same thing with Kendrick Lamar. When Kendrick Lamar dropped that Control verse, everybody was going crazy
Right.
because it was just like, okay, this is the nigga who we do not want to piss off or who we don't want to fuck with because he's just him. So it's
Oh
like J.
shit.
Cole. I feel like J. Cole should have definitely, yo, Kendrick, what's really going down? I want to put this shit out because I want to compete. I want to do, what I need to do. But what I'm saying? What? Okay, you know what? Now, scratch everything I was saying. It makes a lot of sense what you're saying. Yeah, both one of them thought it was something from what it wasn't. Okay, yeah, never
but
mind.
but to piggyback what you're saying though, because that is a good thing. Is like I think he did get that answer. To be honest, he just didn't want to tell like the public that, hey, this
Mm,
nigga, no, this nigga doesn't like Drake, and I'm not trying to get in the middle. I think he just said what he said to like be like, yeah, based on what Schoolboy probably told him. Like
mm,
yeah, I think he did get that answer of why it's the way it is between him and between Kendrick and Drake.
mm.
And speaking of the Control verse, I will say there's only one good response to that verse. Big Crit did it. Had more views than the actual song. Okay, uh,
This
that's all I
nigga
want to
here.
say.
Yo, Dewan, I know you want to keep talking about the Drake and Kendrick stuff because, like, I know that should be kind of bores you and whatever, but like, we just had to make a point with with something.
Hey, hey, y'all good. I was just listening. I was listening to what Tariq was saying, Trevin was saying. I'm younger than all y'all, so that's how it's kind of like different for me. Cause
Yeah,
when that stuff was popping off, I was probably, you know, in elementary or something. So,
It's a
uh,
thing now, man. It hasn't aged, bro.
yeah, yeah. Shaq, you wanna we wanna go into the next topic?
Yeah, yeah, because I'm pretty sure we stayed on this one for way too long. It's just that I'm gonna just say this. Shout out to Tyreek because like I never thought about it like that. You know what I'm saying? Because
yeah,
like I said, there was one point at a time. Like I ain't gonna lie, I'm kind of flippy floppy when it comes to like Drake and Kendrick because like in the beginning, like during high school and shit, like I didn't really had no favorite rapper. Like I used to did say Kanye until I found out like the nigga had writers and shit, so like I kind of dropped him a little bit. But
That's not fair.
no, nigga, no. And
He's a producer,
bro. I'm gonna save a certain topic for another time.
Yeah,
because
I got you.
There's a reason why I'm about to. There's a reason why I'll get to that. If we have enough time, I'll probably say it. But when I first heard both Cole and Kendrick around the same time and shit, I think it was like a year apart or whatever the case is. I didn't really think of Cole as like too much because if y'all remember Sideline Story, like his first album, it was cool.
Oh yeah.
But it was nothing to write home to compared to Good Kid, Mad City. You know what I'm saying? But the thing, yeah, it could be. But even with Good Kid, Mad City, Good Kid, Mad City wasn't even really my favorite album either. Section 80 was, and because for some reason I just related to more to what Section 80 was, what the themes was about. So I related to more. So at that point, that's when I had considered Kendrick my favorite rapper, with Cole just kind of just being in the middle somewhere. Bro, I ain't gonna lie to you. There was even a time when I probably had Big Sean over Cole. Funny enough, you know. But that's a topic for another time. But when Cole had dropped Born Sinner and he started to take his lyrics like a little bit more seriously and started talking about like certain subjects, I was like, okay, all right, Sean, you fumbled with this one album, so we're gonna go with Cole. You know what I'm saying? Cole doing his thing. And then Cole doubled down again with 2014. And I was like, you know what? Maybe Cole is that dude. But I don't want to drop Kendrick either because ain't no telling what Kendrick's really doing right now. So I'm gonna have them at both at the moment. You know what I'm saying?
and then To Pimp a Butterfly comes out.
But hold on, hold your horses. When To Pimp a Butterfly came out, it was a cool album, but I didn't appreciate it during that time. You know what I'm saying? I didn't think too much of it because I wanted more like, I wanted more personal albums that talk about life, and To Pimp a Butterfly was that, but it was just the beat selections. And y'all know hold on. I am very, very picky when it comes to beats. You could be the most top tier rapper of all fucking time. You may have watched out everybody, you know what I'm saying? But if your beat selections are strictly doo-doo, I'm not putting you in that convo, bro. I'm sorry. And that's why I kind of felt that way about Pac for a while. But I'm not going to get into that topic, at least for like another day or so. What are you about to say?
Well, the way you felt about To Pimp a Butterfly, a lot of people felt that way around the time that it came out.
Yeah.
Because it was a thing that there wasn't anything that you could play in the club. It was like, I can't dance to this. But
the thing is, even with that, I wasn't worried about no club shit. Like, cause remember, bro.
No, not you.
No.
Sorry.
Yeah, I know what you're about to say, but like, I wasn't even looking for that. Like, I wasn't even looking from like anything from like Good Kid, Mad City or anything like that. I just during that time, like when it came to like beats, especially like from like beats from like rappers like that or whatever, I wanted something like something like a mix of Good Kid, but also like 2014 or something like that. Something that wasn't too trap heavy, but just had like some good melodies to it. I wasn't really too big on like jazz fusions and you know like songs like that because like I understood it, you know, but that just wasn't me. I wasn't big on Thundercat like that. I like Flying Lotus was cool, but like I wasn't tapped into like those type of productions until I got older. You know what I'm saying? I started to appreciate them way more. But like I said, during that time, Cole he had went silent for like the whole 2015, and To Pimp a Butterfly was like the only thing that came out during that time. So it's just like nothing really clicked with me. You know what I'm saying? Then Drake kind of came in and like took over that year. I'm gonna say it. He took over that year, and did his thing.
Who did?
Drake, 2015. Yeah.
No, the fuck he didn't.
Yes, he did. I will say that. If it's not
Did
him,
he drop in 2015?
If you're reading
this,
if you're reading
oh,
this,
it was
yeah, I'm with you on that shit.
It was like okay,
and also what a time to be alive. Let's not forget about that either.
Like okay, like it was his best year. I don't say his best year. It was one of his best years, even though that's my favorite project from him. If your ratings is too late, you know why I can't say that. Like
I know
literally everybody that worked on To Pimp a Butterfly are niggas I was trying to put y'all onto back in the day.
Right.
You feel me? it's like that album literally validated me as an individual to where like now a lot of those people are now like very respected and winning fucking Grammys. Whereas like what I think without that album and also the D'Angelo album, that type of sound would have never gotten the respect that it deserved.
Right. Right.
That like on a corporate level, on a fucking like that in the D'Angelo album. That's why like I think for the okay, this is a different type of conversation because I know what you mean. Because like the most popular ones that everybody was fucking with were those two were If Uranus and What a Time to Be Alive.
Right.
I'm saying that in terms of rap culture, the To Pimp a Butterfly and the D'Angelo album, Black Messiah, that was like the most important albums, at least in my opinion.
No, I get that, and I respect that. I didn't want to mean it like no, fuck the Ben Butterfly, because ain't nobody wasn't really. It's just during that time, like when it came to just like really, and like I remember, I get it. Music's subjective, so like everybody has different experiences with how they feel about certain shit. It's just during that time, bro. Like, If You're Reading This was just like a whole
I know.
crazy different experience, and
Yeah.
even though like I'm not taking sides in the beef or whatever, I still have to give that fucking project like the flowers it did, because that's what helped with my music. You know what I'm saying? That's what helped with my production. You know, so that's why like at that time, I will say I have to put If You're Reading This over To Pimp a Butterfly at that time. At that time,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? And then like following up the year later, 2016, everybody dropped something. I know Kendrick, all he just dropped was like his unmastered songs, but it was still pretty good. Cole dropped one of my favorite albums that he did, and then Drake just, you know, I mean, I like Views, you know, it's cool, but you could tell it's just like, nigga, like we didn't want that. We wanted something similar to If You're Reading This, or at least something better, but you didn't do that. But it's all good. But to kind of just fast forward things, like looking forward, like just moving on. When Kendrick kind of had went silent for like a while during that whole 2018 to 2021 situation, whatever. Like I said, I had put Cole over because Cole, even though yeah he did drop KOD, he did drop it at a decent time for me because like I was going through like a little, you know, light subject at the time. I ain't gonna go into detail about it, but I was going through something, and even Kendrick's music wasn't really like tapping in with me like that, because guess what he dropped? Down. And even though Dan was talking about like some important stuff, it wasn't really helping with the shit that I was going through. But luckily, like, and I ain't gonna say that KOD didn't really do anything either, but Cole's music just kind of just tapped in with me just a little bit more, to the point where like it felt like big bro music. You know what I'm saying? And I had to give his respects to that. Drake, he was just going through a whole bunch of drama, so like we kind of done with him at that point, you know. But as for right now, you know, as like with the fall offs, you know, still being talked about, and we don't know what the fuck Kendra's going to do at this point. You know, it's really up to him whenever that shit happens. I know I kind of changed the topic a little bit with this whole thing, but like just to make kind of just fast forward things, whatever. I just want Cole to like just still understand is it's like you're still looked at as like a hero in a lot of people's eyes, and I know people ain't making about the whole like, oh, you made an album with no fucking features, whatever. Like I know people ain't making jokes like that, but like you're still a hero to like a lot of people's eyes. So it's just like when you kind of back down for certain shit, not like I ain't about to bring that topic up anymore, but like we just want you to still represent you, because you kind of also represent us as well, and we're always gonna have your back.
Fucking said.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're always gonna have your back, but at the same time, it's like, can you do the same, bro? Like.
Yeah, he still has the respect of his peers.
Yeah, of course. And same thing with Kendrick. Same thing with same thing with Drake. Everybody has their fucking their cults, you know, their fan favorites or whatever. But at least when it comes to from the Cole aspect, I don't want Cole leaving the, like, if he is planning on retiring, whatever, I don't want him to like leave here and niggas still give him a shit about a situation that like he had no control over. Even though yeah, he could have done something, but he did what he had to do. You know. And if any of y'all are religious or whatever the case is, the only thing I'm gonna say, God made you in whatever way He did. So whatever role that He placed for you and shit like that, that's the role that you got. That's the role that you got to do. You can't change fate. There's nothing you can do about that. Just take it for what it is. You know, that's how I look at it.
Mm-hmm.
Amen.
Yeah.
Amen.
All right.
Back to the classic first album's curse.
What are you
I
talking about?
think the topic, man. Our classic first album's a
Oh,
Oh,
curse.
oh yeah. Oh shit, I'm bro, we've been talking about random shit for so long. I'm starting to get lost with this shit. Y'all can go ahead. Y'all can go start.
What do you mean?
Like,
okay. So,
oh yeah, you got it.
okay, you want to explain, Trevor? You can go ahead.
No. That's your topic. You got it. No, you got it. I
Okay,
talked enough.
so that you funny. That topic was basically like saying that sometimes, like I was trying to have a Roddy Rich conversation, and when Shaq brought up Roddy Rich, at the same thing with Lil Baby, sometimes when a rapper or artist, their first project is like so great that the standard is higher for that second and third album. So I was just saying is that if it's sometimes is it better to have a mid first album than to have a 10 out of 10 first album because people gonna expect your second, third, fourth, and fifth album to sound like your first one. And sometimes we see that with a lot of artists is that sometimes you know we might go back. You remember when they dropped their first project, or you remember when they dropped their projects that were earlier on. And sometimes some artists cannot escape that boundary
Yeah,
that a lot of people try to put them in. Like you want to bring up Wayne, like okay, Wayne is probably never gonna drop a Carter 3 if we want to be realistic, right?
Yeah.
Or you know the same thing with I know y'all was talking about Cole or Kendrick, but any other artist, right? But I feel like that's what happens to new artists too, like Roddy Rich and Lil Baby. Okay, is their music really trash now, or their music don't sound like their earlier projects? And
Mm.
I feel like that is a lot of the like that's the case for a lot of modern music today too.
yeah. It's the way that they make their material. It's in my opinion, it's like if unless you want to get better, like you have to like strive to get better at the way that you do things, and that makes for a better album in the future. Because like if all you're doing is going in, you get a beat from someone, you do your stuff, but you're not really that involved with the engineering process, that kind of like you hit a ceiling. You start to end up hitting a ceiling, and then like your best was is always going to be your first album in that regard.
Yeah.
But like for Kendrick or for Cole or for like Drake or like even for fucking like Big Crit,
Joey or Big Crit.
Joey, like they're actively like involved. Like Kendrick, that nigga went back to school and took damn some more writing classes and shit. And Cole and Crit, they make their beats, so it's like that's a given. Like them improving is already a given. So
Yeah.
it's like when you're more involved with how you make your music, that shows in your future projects as
Great
opposed to your
point.
first one. Because
Great point.
the thing that and it's never too late to make an album as good as your first one because the biggest example is Nas. Once Nas made that one fucking change that everybody criticized him on, he made 6 albums that were better than everything since Stillmatic. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying?
Yeah.
And that's 6 fucking albums. That's like like nigga in 6 albums I think in like 2 or 3 years. Like that's like I don't think I ever heard of a run. Well, I don't think I've ever heard of a run like that. That's super consistent. So it's like it's possible, but you got to understand where you fall short, and not just think that people are just trying to hear what you're dropping, just because you're dropping.
I will say this because I was thinking about a certain rapper who definitely got better with each fucking project compared to her first album. I don't know how y'all feel about this man, but Rick Ross, right?
Oh,
So I'm a heavy Ross fan. Like I'm just putting it out there. his first album, I didn't really feel it too much. I don't know, it's because like I'm just not from Florida or whatever the case is, but like there's only like maybe like a couple songs that I liked off of that shit. But it's like after that album, like each album that he did right after got fucking better, better, and better. Like I think his first album was like Port of Miami, so the next one was like Deeper. No, it was Trilla. Trilla, that was the one that had like the boss on there and all that shit. That shit was nice. Then fucking Deeper Than Rap came out. Maybach Music Part 2. That like he had those shits on there. Fucking I forgot what's the it's not called
What
BMF.
about Mastermind?
Mastermind
I
was a good.
fuck with
That's an
Mastermind.
amazing
Heavy,
ass album.
bro.
Come on now.
I love Mastermind.
Look. When you was talking, I was like, man, hopefully he bring a Mastermind.
You know I was going, bro.
I still think.
Go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
What's that part on the album where like he got his bank account, playing? Do y'all remember that on the album?
Was it the skit or like it was a song?
Well, basically, he calls his bank account and to see how much money in his account, and they actually, yeah. I remember that. Yeah,
I think it was shit. Hold on.
That was on Mastermind though.
Yeah. Well, either way,
that was a good album.
Once I find a song, I'll let you know. But either way, that's what I was saying. That like every project that Ross did after his first one got better. And bro, I went to YouTube Music right now, and Mastermind was like the top album out of all his albums. That's telling you something. It's not. I ain't gonna say it's my favorite album out of his, but like it's a top 3. I'll give it that. But
it's a tie between that and Trilla for me.
Oh, I don't.
I got a bunch of guns I can spend them on her.
I don't know, because God forgives and I don't is still up there, and Rather Than.
That one's good too, yeah.
Rather You Than Me, and even then Black Market. Ooh, shit. That's a topic for another time. But that's what I'm saying. Ross, like he was like one of the few artists that was consistent with keep making like a dope ass project after like his first albums, and then I'm kind of done bringing these dudes up, but like even Kendrick, right? Like I'm always gonna love Section 80. Section 80 is one of my favorites, but I see that album for some reason doesn't get that much flowers for whatever reason. I don't know, but so I'm just gonna leave it as it is. But
Section 80,
yeah,
it doesn't get its flowers.
Apparently, I don't know, for some fucking reason. Cause I remember like on Facebook, like I think we brought up like Section 80 and like Delvin had said something about it, or whatever the case is, and said like the album wasn't really all that or whatever. It's like I've seen that topic a lot. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people just either forget about that album or just don't bring it up in the conversation, and because of that, a lot of people because of that, there's just this general consensus that like each album did get better after Section 80, but like Section 80 wasn't even that bad of an album. You know what I'm saying? Because and ain't nobody like people keep talking mad shit about Mr. Morale, but y'all bring up the album more than fucking Section 80. So like what's the deal? You know what I'm saying? And then you got other artists who's kind of inconsistent, which is one Cole, whereas it's like Sideline Story, it's not his worst album because KOD is there for a reason, but he did he was on a roll. You know what I'm saying? It just and like I don't want to hear anybody talk shit about For Your Eyes. For Your Eyes is still a good project, but I can kind of tell it was just like there was a huge disdain with that album too. So it's like then you got issues like that. You know what I'm saying? And
right.
Yeah, but moving like y'all kind of understand where I'm coming with some of these projects and shit. You know?
Okay. This next topic gonna be kind of different. Tariq, did you want to add anything to that?
Yeah, I wanted to 1 second. Gather my thoughts.
Oh, you say you got in your thoughts?
Yeah, because I wanted to say the question that you asked, I feel like this question definitely applies to NBA YoungBoy
Yep.
because NBA YoungBoy, in my opinion, like I at first I wasn't really into his music until my brother put me on. I was like, yo, I kind of like it, and then I started noticing that a lot of his stuff just keeps sounding the same over and over and over again. And it's just kind of like I thought maybe like that considered a curse, where it's just kind of like the first album that he made sounded so good, or not good or bad, but it just sounded the same. Where he's just kind of like, oh, I'm gonna just run off with this, and then it just kind of blew up. Now you listen to anything NBA YoungBoy drops, and everybody fucks with it.
Yeah.
So it's like I feel like NBA YoungBoy, if he was a little bit more creative or something like that, then maybe that wouldn't be such a curse. But I just wanted to add that point. Like that question really does apply to like NBA YoungBoy, because that's really one of the biggest examples. It's like he be dropping all these songs, which some of them are cool, but then all the mentions he's having the same. You know what I'm saying? And it's just kind of like, I don't know, in his mind, does he feel like, okay, the first album was already good enough. Everybody already sees my demeanor and character. It's like, do I really need to change? Like, if everybody already likes it.
Yeah.
I,
But
yeah, young boy has such a he has like a cult fan base because a lot of he has like the youth, like even from my age going down. Like I know cousins that are in middle school, like so at the same time, like I feel like when an artist got like a lot of the young people, I feel like even if the music's not that good, it's still gonna be so popular because at the same time, adults gotta go to work, but these kids are streaming music 24/7. So it's
yeah,
like, regardless if it's good or not, these kids are streaming this music 24/7. And
Mm.
so sometimes it's like I listen to the music and then I look at his numbers and I be like, man, I don't like the music, but man, these numbers that he be doing is like crazy. Like
yeah,
I think I think he's I think he's one of the most streamed artists in the world.
Yeah.
Like I think so. So
At a time he was. I don't know if he still is.
uh
It's
I
slowed
feel
hey,
down
like
a
it's
little
look,
bit
let me tell you this. All I know is this: when bro drop a song on YouTube, in like 2 hours, he get over 1 million views. Like,
for no
like when he
fucking
yeah.
reason.
drop, yeah. So his YouTube is crazy, but like to segue into the next topic, I was gonna talk about like the streaming conversation. Like, are streamers taking over the rap game? And I know this might sound stupid, but I do feel like streaming is kind of affecting music in a way. Cause if you notice, like a lot of these streamers, it's like these rappers in a way kind of like trying to compete with streamers, and it's like this streamers versus rappers thing, and it's crazy because it's like I feel like it can kind of mess with the business of rap because it's like some rappers are complaining like, man, these streamers are interfering with you know our little whatever the case may be. So I just want to like ask y'all, do y'all think that the the sh- the rise of young streamers can affect the rap game in any type of way?
here's the thing though. Like even like going a little bit back to when streams weren't trending a lot. Like you had YouTubers that were like going famous, and they weren't really rappers, but they would put out like this may be a bad example, but that nigga Jake Paul. What the fuck does this nigga know about like rapping at all? But he
Yeah.
wasn't no mainstreamer. He was a YouTuber, and this nigga was dropping all kinds of music, and that shit was like damn near getting more views than half of these other like real like big time rappers.
Yeah.
So it's like I feel like streaming is not really the issue. It's more so of like who it is, because like you can't really sit here and because if Castanet was to drop a song and it gets bigger than like just hypothetically it gets bigger than a Jay-Z song or whatever, we're not gonna say that he's now in that conversation. We're just gonna say like, okay, this nigga is just an entertainment ass nigga and he's capable of just dropping it just because how like big his fan base is and how easier it is on stream, because now that's where everybody is.
Right.
It's
That I was
a
like trying to make is that like
sorry.
even before like the streaming, like the main streaming thing, like you had people like Jake Paul that wasn't a big time rapper or a rapper in anybody's eyes, but he drops a song and that shit has over like 20 million views and shit like that. And it's like, what do you do at that point? Because it's like now rappers aren't really competing with other rappers. It's like, damn, now I gotta rap and I gotta like do YouTube now. Like I feel like that's what these rappers are thinking now. Like, damn, I gotta rap and I gotta do stream now because
Yeah,
that's where all the attention is at.
I mean, that's for
and
those that do care about, like, not to say that no that every rapper doesn't care about it. I think that no matter the avenue, word of mouth is the most deciding factor. But in terms of like monetization, yeah, they're getting big streams, but they aren't selling out like arenas, or they're not selling
but
out tours,
I'm
and
gonna
that's. Oh,
go
sorry, go
ahead,
ahead.
go ahead. No, go ahead, Trey.
And they're not like being played in clubs frequently, and that's where the real money. They're not getting, well, they're getting business deals, but not because of their rapping ability. It's because of like them being YouTubers or being streamers and things like that. It's just like the gateway of them venturing into the music scene is just was already there because they had that following in the first place.
Yeah.
And it's like they aren't, in my opinion, they're not really taking over. It's just another way of getting your music out there. If, like, let's say one of the easiest examples is Tyler. Like, if he drops, streamers are going to react to the album no matter what. And if the streamers like the album, or like they have great reactions to certain songs of the albums, that makes people go listen to the songs them damn selves. It's like, yeah, this shit actually does go hard. I see why old dude reacted the way that he did, or and shit like that. It kind of sparks more discussion, but like the artists themselves, it's just in my opinion, it's just a benefit, and it doesn't really like affect like their bag.
Yeah, in a way, and I'm gonna add to this. I don't think it inherently affects their bag, but I think because of the influence streamers have, I feel like that public opinion. Because I ain't gonna bring up his name, but a certain rapper got mad at a big streamer, and pretty much like because Kai Cenat was reviewing his album, and I guess he didn't give that positive reaction. Now, of course, this is one of the biggest streamers out, so a lot of young people they're gonna go with the popular opinion. So in a way, I can understand how a rapper may feel. Like, man, my album just dropped at midnight. This big time streamer do a review on it, and then it's like, bam, everybody's on social media dragging my album because they're going off what the streamers say. So in a way, I do feel like on a business level, I don't think streamers are taking bread from rappers, but
Yeah,
I do think that one, I think rappers are starting to care about the streamer's opinion because of their influence,
yeah,
and then two, I think rappers are scared of the influence that streamers are having. So they'll sit on these streamers' couch and try to like get validation from them because of the influence that they have. I mean, that's the same conversation somebody could say with academics in a way. Like,
right.
what there was a point in time where academics stopped posting certain rappers, and their music suffered a lot. So I do think that
What?
these str-
I didn't know
uh
that. I didn't know that.
yeah, there's a certain artist. I ain't trying to be messy, but there's a certain artist
You can put
that
it in the chat, because I do want to know. You don't gotta tell me. I mean, you don't gotta say it
yeah,
verbally, but if you're okay with saying it, like, you put it in the chat.
yeah, I did, but
All right.
but but at the same time, it's like
Oh,
yeah. So
that's
so but
unfortunate.
yeah, but at the same time, and there's one more, yeah, and there's a certain point of time where I think that these rappers do care about artists, do care about streamers' opinion,
I'm
and
so
so
glad you said that second, nigga, because that was gonna kind of support what my next point is, that like it also does matter about the talent of the person. Is that like this it like the audience of that certain artist, or the audience of the artist, they are the ones that like they're gonna care about. If they care about what a streamer thinks, then they weren't fans of that artist in the first place. It's just, but the thing is, people like Kai Cenat or like reactors, they're not gonna react to a fucking like Griselda record or a damn pro era record or like people that are winning like Grammys and awards and shit like that unless it's Kendrick or like people that or unless it's people that are at a certain level, right? But that doesn't mean that like that they not saying that you're saying that, but it doesn't mean that like they're gonna try to seek out the validation of that rapper. It's just a certain audience is gonna get that ear from those rappers like NBA YoungBoy or motherfucking well fuck I can't say those too hard like Corday and shit like that, J. Cole, like they're gonna get those ears regardless. But in the spirit of the of hip hop or rap, the streamers' opinions really never really mattered. At least the way I see it. Because they don't
Yeah.
know anything about like they don't know why uh they don't know what makes Southern culture like Southern rap so special. They don't know who the fuck Slim Thug is or Lil Kiki and you know shit like that. They're not gonna be like, oh wow, this sounds like such and such, and that's I get they're not gonna do that. So it's like it's just an attention span thing for a lot of people. At least the way I see it.
Shaquille, you got any opinions on this?
No, this is the only one where I feel like y'all kind of like pretty much said everything I would have said. Um, only thing I guess I could just say at this point is just like at the end of the day, if you love an artist, whatever, like you intentionally like fuck with that artist, don't let no fucking like not even the streamer, don't let anybody's opinion like change that fact because like that shit can be damaging, but at the same time, it's like at the end of the day, uh like just say like even like say like news or like even social media, they may say, oh well, Kendrick bought his fucking sister a 2009 Toyota, so
That was
that means
so
he's a broke
lame.
like so that means he's a broke rapper and we shouldn't listen to him talk about money. Like nigga, what? Like it's shit like that where it's just like at that point you need to just go search out for yourself because like even in like say like gaming or whatever, like like okay, my everybody not might not fuck with the new Mario game or whatever, but hey, you can try it out yourself and see if you like it or not because ain't no telling how shit might turn out to be. You can't
Yeah.
just because like even like in gaming like IGN they're fucking shit reviewers, bro. They are shit. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like I'm so glad they never like try to thread onto music like music reviewing because like if that was the case, like music is dead, you know, at that point. But well, at least for like like for reviewing music or whatever. That's like if you try to take like Anthony Fantano or
Fantana.
whatever, and you try to take if you try to listen to his opinion about anything, then and you honestly think that fucking My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy is a fucking six, nigga, get the fuck out of here.
Okay.
I
Like
don't want to hear it. I don't
no,
want
no,
to
no,
hear
no,
it.
no, no, no. I'm not talking about that. I'm the thing. Only thing I would say about Fantano is that like he knows his shit, but
Yeah,
like the number score is like the least of your worries. To be
right.
honest, it's like regardless of My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy being a six, if he doesn't like a certain thing about something, it's not that he's wrong. It's just that he just doesn't like it, right? But he's not. It's not like he's saying, "Oh, I don't like it because I don't like it." He would describe the fucking song and say like what it is influenced by, and it's like, damn, that at least he knows that. You feel me?
Yeah.
Because
But just
sorry.
just because and I just add this in there, just because you know big words don't mean you know music like that. Like I feel like because of like honestly, just because you know how to use like you know what an equalizer is and a compressor. Like, be honest, bro. Y'all producers.
Yeah,
A lot of people don't know what an EQ is, what a compressor, what a DS, or all these VSTs. A lot of people don't know what that is. So when
right.
you make those critiques, the average person not gonna know what you're talking about. So they're gonna think like, man, this person really know what they're saying, but really is they just using big words
Yeah.
and it's going over the average person head, and so they immediately believe everything that they're saying. And I'm like, okay, all right, if that's what y'all want to listen to, God, go ahead, bro. Like,
Yeah.
that's that. Yeah, that I mean, that's a whole different. That's a whole different like.
that's a whole
Com-
different.
it's not. No, that's related to this, but like I do because producer ears or in like casual, not casual, and like just spectator ears are different. Like, cause yeah, they don't know like about the techniques or what like certain VSTs are being. They don't know about that unless they like venture into that type of stuff, and it becomes very apparent when certain sounds are used or certain like VSTs are used. Like, oh, you use this preset. That's different. Like, yeah, and Fantano, since he is a musician himself, like he does use those words a lot. I'm just talking about like whenever fuck, I don't want to keep bringing this nigga up, bro, but like I'm gonna seem like I'm dick riding. But when
Credit,
he
credit,
yeah,
credit.
when he
Yeah.
reviewed when he reviewed what like my favorite album from Big Crit, he said the influences like correctly. So at least he knows like what makes that album special in the way that it is. You know, it sounds like even though he gave it a high score, like it kind of defeats what I'm saying, but like that's what I appreciate with reviewers like him, and he's not the only one. There's Dead End Hip Hop. There's like you know that's the only ones I know. But it's
Dead
like
in hip hop. They still on?
yeah, they are. Mike ain't there no more though, but like they still
What?
on. Yeah, he
He
left like
was.
last year.
That's crazy because he was like one of the main ones. I liked his opinions
Yeah.
because some of the older guys, you can tell they wasn't tapped in. Like they checked out. Like the older guy that with the glasses.
Oh
Remember
yeah.
him? The bald head.
FIFO? FIFO? No, no,
No,
no, no. Kenneth.
he's the
Kenneth
older
the
one.
Inch. Yeah, he's the older one.
Yeah, you can tell he's kind of like he might be like he just listens a little bit. But
That
Mike,
nigga don't like nothing.
nah, but yeah, Mike was on his stuff. Like,
Yeah.
but
It
yeah, but
it's and that's like that kind of goes back to what you were saying about the listening to things differently is because like with Dead End Hip Hop, there's a producer in that group, which is Beezy, and he understands like when certain influences of certain beats, like who that sounds like. So that like kind of gives that avenue for the listener to listen to his opinions for that. You know what I'm saying? It's like it. I don't know. It just kind of like it was kind of like special at least the way I see it.
All right. Um, not to like stop anything. I'm just trying to just be cautious because we did pass like the 2 hour mark. Y'all still okay to
Oh,
keep on, or y'all want to?
I I did want to add 10 minutes because I did want to bring up this last topic, and then after that, we could close out if y'all want
All right,
to. Yeah.
that's big. I feel like this is like the best. I feel like this is like the best stream we probably did so far lately. We got like a lot of shit out the way and was kind of consistent.
let's
So
go.
yeah, let's get these last 10 minutes out the way. That's cool with y'all.
Are you cool with that, Trevor?
Yeah.
All right. All right. I did. Okay. So I did want to talk about so we're gonna talk about I'm gonna bring up the Quavo and Offset conversation, and then Shaq, I'm gonna let you close out what you talking about your new content on the way. Uh,
Okay.
so the Quavo and Offset conversation. I know I put Quavo versus Offset. I'm not trying to compare them, but I was like, where do y'all think the future of these two rappers is gonna go? Because in my opinion, a couple years ago, 28, 2016, 2015, to me, Quavo was always like the Beyonce of the group. To me. But it's like
Mm,
now the tables have turned.
yeah.
But you see Offset, he doing his thing, Quavo doing his thing. Do y'all think that these guys should just come back together? Or do you think they should just continue doing their own solo stuff? Because would the Migos be back, even though Takeoff's gone, do you think it will ever be the same again if they got back together?
No,
Nah, it
not
wouldn't
at
be.
all.
It in my opinion, Takeoff was the best member, but like Quavo, like you said, Quavo about Quavo being the Beyonce of the group. I do think that they should fucking get back together and make up whatever the fuck that they. I mean, if it's possible, I don't know. I don't remember what the issue was, but if it's possible to be resolved, it would benefit them both. But if it doesn't, Quavo's gonna fall off, in my opinion. But
Um.
Offset, in
Oh,
my like,
go ahead.
let me hold on. Let me look and see. I thought like Offset like post them like I think that he was more consistent. You know what I'm saying? Even though they both don't really release like top quality like projects, I do think that Offset has been more consistent.
Uh,
So, do you think if Quavo was consistent, do you think he could possibly be on top again, or you think it's just kind of like you don't know?
I really I'm gonna sound like a hater, but I really don't. I really don't like Quavo. Like in my opinion, he's gonna have like whatever he had, like the audience that he has. But as far as him growing, I think it would be harder for him to do that than Offset because of him having an ego.
and my take on it, 'cause I think me and you already talked about it already. Quavo, Quavo's ass. Okay.
Wait, what?
Damn.
Quavo's
What?
bro. Okay, if this was like Quavo from like early like 2013, 2014, when he was like at least rapping a little aggressively but goofy at the same time, hey, maybe. But times changed, and I don't think anybody really trying to hear shit like that anymore. So it's like, yeah, he could be the Beyonce of the group, but it's just like at the same time, it's like, bro, you're not really talking about anything. He does have some nice beat selections. You know what I'm saying? He does whenever he does his features for like at least like for vocals or whatever the case is. He does his thing. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, it's like if you used to do like another solo album, that shit is going that shit's gonna be triple paper bag, bro. I'm just being honest with you. No,
Damn.
could compared to Offset. Offset he works with like I'm not saying Quavo doesn't work with other niggas, but like Offset like he has like if they were like fighters, Offset has the fucking skills for it. You know what I'm saying? Because like he not only can he can keep up with the flow, he can like talk about not lyrical shit, but he can talk about something that like people would tap into, especially like with the stuff that's going in right now between him and his ex-wife. You know what I'm saying? So like, and even with that, like Offset, like he knows how to be very versatile. He rapped on like his regular beats. He could rap on fucking not I'm about to say merengue. Like he could rap on like house beats or whatever. Like he done like a whole bunch of other shit before, and keep things moving. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I do see that sometimes people don't try to give him his flowers because like his antics or whatever, but I I I do remember there was like a time when like he was on when he was on Kai Cenat's stream, like people were fucking with him. You know what I'm saying? Like in a good way. Like they thought he was pretty cool. So
Yeah.
they see that compared to like Quavo, and I'm not trying to be disrespectful for saying this, but like Quavo was around around Takeoff during a very sad situation, and
Hmm.
he has that look on him. And we also know that Quavo also is hot headed, and he has an ego. And so because of that, people ain't gonna really rock with you like that. The only thing that people could say about Offset is just that okay, you cheated. Guess what? Welcome to fucking 2025 because every fucking rapper
Yeah.
cheated, bro. Jay-Z, Kendrick, everybody fucking did it. You know what I'm saying? So
Chance.
chance. So it's just like at this point, it's like that
Oh
can't
my gosh.
that can't stop Offset. Offset he can keep going for like the next 5 to 10 years, and he'll be okay. You know what I'm saying? But Quavo, his best bet at this point is to just start going acting or some other shit or just doing vocals or whatever because like there's
I,
nothing else
I
really writing for homie.
I think another album with Travis Scott will help him. I feel
It
like there
might.
was rumors. Uh,
Quavo?
yeah, there was rumors of Huncho Jack 2 on the way, and I was like, even though Travis Scott, you gotta think about this. Migos and Travis Scott kind of like they used to be on a. There was a point in time where they was on the same level, but life happened. Travis Scott, skyrocketed. Now Travis Scott's not. He's not even on the same level as majority of his peers now. But at the
Yeah.
same time, they still homies. So I feel like Huncho Jack 2 would probably help him a little bit. But like you say, if he does have an ego, he's probably not gonna want that help.
Mm,
Yeah.
that's true. Bro, Offset is versatile as fuck. I forgot that he was on the Into the Spider Verse soundtrack
Yeah,
or Across
bro,
the Spider Verse.
bro. Offset's that guy. He's that guy, bro. Like I'm giving him his fucking flowers. You know what I'm saying?
I just think he don't get. I think, in my opinion, I feel like he start getting that respect when they start doing the solo album thing, because Quavo's solo album didn't get a lot of love. Takeoff solo album was kind of like a mixed review. Like
Mm.
I think Shaq said he didn't really like Takeoff solo album,
They did him wrong
and
thus
then
far.
Yeah, they did it wrong.
okay, and then Offset had the better solo album, and you could tell he kind of like maybe he took more time into his album. So I think that's what made people look at Offset differently. But in my opinion, I feel like when they was all three together, I don't think people looked at Offset like that. You know, I think
Mm.
Quavo got all the love when they were together. When they was all three together, my opinion.
Yeah,
So yeah.
it's true. I don't really have a lot to say about this. I was just gonna say the Culture 2 show's garbage. Why
Yeah,
they decided to.
yeah.
I don't know why they decided. They gave us that great Culture 1, and oh my god, that was. I honestly like Culture 1 was so good because like as bad as it is, like I got into music really late, but like I just like the fact that Gucci was just kind of part of that, and it just made it sound so fucking cool. And I thought maybe like with them making Culture 2, maybe they'll bring like somebody else that we like I don't know, somebody else into it that would sound good. But then they dropped that nonsense, and I was like, bro, I don't know.
Did
So
you hear
I don't know
Culture
that
Three?
they made a three.
There's a Culture 3?
It's like 30 songs.
No fucking
Nah,
way.
That shit was buns.
that's why.
There's a
See,
Culture 3. What the
Yeah.
fuck?
It been out for
see,
years now. What? Y'all been
that's
living under a
why.
rock?
When this come out?
Nah, I didn't even
20,
know that.
2021? What was I doing during that time? How the fuck I missed
But
this?
it was in the midst of
2021.
it was COVID and there was so much stuff going on. But
And
there was a Culture Three. That was like before they broke up. That was supposed to be like the last Culture. But rest in peace to Takeoff. I feel like if Takeoff was still alive, I feel like him and Quavo would definitely still be having motion. Like in my opinion,
Yeah.
I feel like I feel like them as a duo. I feel like they definitely still would be. They'll still be a good duo, in my opinion. Shaq,
yeah,
any closing thoughts on that?
That
Uh,
Unconfused shit would have.
Give me a second. I'm dealing with my son at the moment.
That
but
Unconfused movement would have been crazy.
oh, what? Yeah, that and then I kind of like when Migos kind of like work with Gucci because you remember they kind of came up under Gucci, you
Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
and and so I feel like like that. I feel like Atlanta always they always know how to work together, like
okay.
Takeoff and Quavo, and then you have Thug and Future. You have all these duos that they do in Atlanta, so I feel like it's dope.
Hmm? Oh.
Hey,
Oh,
but
go ahead. I'm
Trevor,
sorry.
Was it?
oh, this was the sidebar, but you still playing that game?
What game?
The one that with the girl was running around chopping down trees and
From the last stream.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I'm not playing it right now, but yeah, I'm still playing it.
okay,
Like from time to time.
Yeah.
nah, man. Shaq, so the last topic is you talking about your content, what you working on next. So
Okay.
go.
Yeah, we can finish it out like that. Excluding like from gaming content, from music wise, I am working on a project that's probably gonna be due like around summer to springtime. I'll try and release it before May because I will be moving around that time. But yeah, it's a project that I've been kind of working on for like a year or two now. So hopefully once I get everything into fruition, whatever, and get out the way. And then also I had made a request with Trevin and Tyreek that we're going to try and work on like a little soulful project, like a little EP, because right now at the moment I am kind of training Tyreek a little bit to like master his beast a little bit better. And I Trevin, since he has a history with like more soulful songs, we can try and get him tapped in with all that shit too, and like link up or whatever. And then after that, we can see how things move on from there, you know. But I will say for today's stream, it 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 put a smile on my face, compared to the last ones. Like, I was just hold on. Even though like it was like my first time like trying to get everything like situated or whatever, I'm glad that like you kind of gave me that tap on the shoulder and be like, yo, bro, like we kind of have to get this shit rolling. And I was like, you know what, you're right.
Did I
You know
do
what I'm saying?
that?
Yeah, you did. You big bro me, even though you're younger than me. You know what I'm saying? So I appreciate that because like that's the thing where I want with everybody. Like I'll let Tyreek know. I'm like, hey, chop up these samples a little bit better. I'll be like, Trevin, like we need these fucking beats. You know what I'm saying? Like and
Yeah.
I want the same thing. Like let me know when I'm in the wrong, because I'm not gonna feel offended. I'm not gonna like be sensitive about it because I need that push too. That's how we get better. You know what I'm saying? That's like when you was about to bring up the Kanye topic, I was just like, hold on, because right now, like as much as Kanye is like, like almost everybody's favorites in some aspects, right now it's a gray area, and that nigga needs to figure out his own shit right now. And I don't want any negativity being brought onto this channel. You know what I'm saying?
You
So,
know, like just to add this, you'll be surprised how like pride and ego like ruins good friendships. Like,
oh
like,
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
like just because you don't want to be wrong, like you don't want to take accountability if you're wrong on something. And so sometimes it's like as bros, we just gotta be like, hey, bro, you was wrong on that. But if you full of ego and pride, you're gonna like end a good friendship because you don't want to be wrong. Like, so
Yeah,
I
I had
just
to
added
learn
that
that.
in there.
I had
Yep.
to
and
learn that.
and not also that, but there's just something sometimes like you have to let go of, like some shit that y'all had in the past that like could be problem
Mm-hmm.
solving. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yep.
if
So
you know there's like a red flag and like your homie's not like trying to like fix from it or whatever, and it just keeps growing more and more, then yeah, like step away. But like consistently kind of keep bring. I know this kind of like off topic, but like this is just for anybody. If somebody keeps reminding you about something that you did from fucking 10 years ago, whatever the case is, or 5 years ago, and they say that your friend or your brother or whatever the case is, but they still bring that shit up, get away from that nigga right now because that shit is not that they did not let
Immediately.
that shit go. They did not let that shit go.
Immediately.
You know what I'm saying? I had many people that either I had to step away from or they stepped away from me, and it was for the best. You know what I'm saying? Because like me and Trevin, we known each other for a long time, but we both had some red flags that you know that we needed to work on, and because of that, after we got our shit out, whatever, look where we are now. You know what I'm saying? Making content together and just getting over this shit. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
And that's the same thing I could
yeah.
say. That's the same thing I could say to y'all too as well, because like y'all might have like some homies that y'all fuck with for like a long time, and then shit just go south. But it's
Because
all
some
good
people
though.
still live in the past, man. Like a lot of these people still, it's like some people I was even friends with, they still live in the past. Like, like some people don't want to move forward because sometimes like it just feels good, like
Yeah.
holding on to stuff. So people rather still be stuck on what happened than to move forward.
Like bro, like we're not 50 in Ja Rule. We're not fucking like we're not any of them dudes, bro. Like it's either you gonna get over this small shit or just don't fuck with me, bro. It's just that simple. You know? It it like yeah, like you gonna stop fucking with me, it's gonna hurt for a while, but after that, like nigga, I'm gonna just boss up and just move on. You know what I'm saying? It's just that simple. But yeah, but
Hey, this entire stream, I've been trying not to laugh because I've been looking at the chat while you was playing the game.
yeah.
Shaq, this dude Trevor say, why we in Africa again. Like I was trying, bro. That's why I was on mute the entire stream because. Wait, what did this dude say? A water monster in the forest? Like, bro.
It's a lot of shit, bro. It's a lot of out of context.
Come on, Trevor.
My bad, bro. I just be saying shit.
But yeah,
Hey, bro, you was in Africa too long, man.
Really, bro.
real though.
Nigga,
But yeah,
damn
to
it,
like
nigga.
to kind of end things, grateful to everybody who watched the stream. We're gonna have another one next week. Have some more great topics. Have a lot of more lengthy topics to talk about. Hopefully, we can go past the 3-hour stream that I was trying to do. But you know, life happens. Shit happens. It is what it is. We talked
Yeah.
about a lot of good shit today. I'll try to have some more gameplay for us to do. And this nigga here, bro. Other than that, like I said, once again, appreciate y'all for coming.
Yeah.
It's always
Hey, Shaq, you in the stream yet?
I'm about to. What's up?
Okay, end it first. End it first.
All right. Hey, don't be a goofy ass nigga like this one, bro. Anywho, y'all take it easy.